best Twitter.
Hello
Oh,
and
gosh.
welcome. I am the LastHPHero, and you have found your way to TPK Roleplay. We are so very glad you're here and hope you enjoy your stay. Over the course of the next month or 2.5 months or so, we shall be playing our way through the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure module Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Unexpected guests usually receive a warm welcome. Unfortunately, not all guests are as pleasant as others. First and foremost, no attempts to make this story child-appropriate have occurred. This is a tale of cold isolation, alien incursion, and self-centered divinities. This actual play stream contains adult language, descriptions of violence and light gore, scary images, and generally speaking, a great deal of cold. Our players are here to warm the night. Safety tools are in place for the players, but you as a viewer do not have such a luxury, so if you know of any sensitivities to those listed topics, please keep a teleportation spell prepped and readied. Barring that ready action, kick back, relax, keep all heads, hands, paws, and claws inside the stream at all times. Slap that follow button to join the wonderful world of TPK Roleplay, and click the Discord link that Sir Heck is already on top of. It's like we have done this before, and above all else, be good. That's the rule. Be good. The other part, with no other announcements in mind at the moment, you may not know these amazing players and their characters, so let's change that. Everyone here will say hello, introduce themselves and their character, plug other shows or projects they're participating in, games they play, and the question of the night that the players haven't heard yet is, how does your character respond to unexpected guests? So what's the plan? An unexpected guests arrive. How does your character respond? That is your question. And for our introductions, starting in the middle right section of your screen. If knowing is half the battle, then he's the other half. It's T.
Hi, I'm T, and I am happy to see everyone. My pronouns are he, they, and I play Brom the Paladin, who is human, and his pronouns are he, him. Don't really have much going on right now, but let's see. If you mean unexpected guests to his home, it depends if it's in his personal home or in the monastery he grew up in. If it's to the monastery, he lives in a dormitory, so he's probably used to people coming into his space, and he wouldn't enjoy it, but he'd make room and let them in. If it's into his personal home, which is really his parents' house, he'd probably do his best to avoid the company because it's probably some noble that he really doesn't want to talk to be honest. So not very exciting, sorry.
No, makes sense. It's just part of the getting to know one another thing. Continuing up and around in the top right corner of your screen, they have the power. It's Al.
Hi, my name is Al Lucart. My pronouns are they, them, and I am a queer sci-fi fantasy illustrator and a huge tabletop game geek. And I play Mirth, our Dragonborn Bard, whose pronouns are he, him. If Mirth was to have unexpected visitors, he would be thrilled. As a circus performer who is accustomed to living in the chaotic, big top with all of these other performers, there's very little privacy, there's very little downtime, and there's not really a lot of space you don't have your own room, hell no. You bunk up when you can, and everything is very much like a big, messy, glitter-covered, chaotic family. And so for that reason, Mirth is, one, way too comfortable being sans clothes, and two, delights in having guests. It's his favorite thing, or he wouldn't be a bard. He's a very fun host.
Wonderful. Perfect. Continuing up and around in the top left corner of your screen, NiferNif. NiferNif. Oh! It's Niffer.
Hi everyone, I am NiferNif. You can find me everywhere at NiferNif. I use they them pronouns, and I'm playing Laine, the human warlock, who uses he him pronouns. And Dane, you did miss an announcement, because I'm pretty sure that is some brand new art that we are looking at in the bottom right hand corner. So I just want to shout out Al for that beautiful art. It's very nice. I'm a big fan of you.
It's overdue. Thanks.
That's all. And Laine would react with, if it's like somebody he knows that is just showing up out of the blue, he'd probably be like, yeah, okay, this is great. If it's just like somebody coming in like, hey, listen, I'm here now, deal with it, it would probably just be a very long suffering dad sigh of just like and then just fine, just resigned acceptance. He's not a very sociable person.
I have a question.
Yes.
What snacks would he serve? What dad snacks would he?
Dad snacks.
You know, what would he offer or not? Give
Well,
us
I
a
mean,
sense.
this is 10 towns. So
Yeah.
mostly just like dried fish and like the basic grains and stuff. We don't have a lot of like fresh produce here.
No
So-
gushers or Cheez-Its.
No, like maybe
No,
some
that's
salsa.
fair.
But like the
Nice,
freeze
thank
dried
you.
gross kind. Just some chips and salsa.
Thank you, Tony. It's always
question.
good to start out right. Salsa and a +2 for the DM. You know,
Oh,
that's the best way to
You
start.
naughty chat.
come on, chat. And after I found gator pics for you too, Tony.
Last but not least in the introductions, auto rocks, transform, and roll out. It's Roxx.
That's so funny. Hi, everybody. My name is Roxx. You can find me on Twitter or Twitch at Roxx the Wizard. I play games online, whether they are TTRPGs or video games that have me dating weapons and men and anime characters, all the above. And I talk a lot of anime because I love anime. So yeah, go follow me. Neo is who I'm playing tonight. Both of our pronouns are he, him. And if a guest, or how he would greet a guest would be, he would be extremely friendly because he's always looking to help everybody, no matter who they are. So he would greet the guest just like he would greet his parents or anybody else that he loves.
Perfect, wonderful, sweet as always. And yes, I was going to point out, you will see the brand new Azurus art in the bottom right. Foxy had some, the ultimate big baddie of scheduling that caused some problems, so he will be joining us next time around. And I am the last hit point hero. I use the he, him pronouns, and I will be being, well, at least a dragon tonight. So we'll see what else. I think that's it for our introductions. We did fix that tuning issue with Ol'Bitey and have a little summary of what has taken place. So, Ol'Bitey will give our summary of last session, and we will dive back in to where we were. Ol'Bitey, take it away.
Oh, befriending the Griffins, a quest they have been given. They flew north to prove their worth in a sporting tradition. Oh, the ball flew back and forth. Competition gave them warmth, and the last round victors were found. Now they're champions henceforth. Oh.
Thank you, our fishy friend, for that summary. It's always appreciated. And, as usual, we will... sorry, just checking the notifications. We will start with a little scene. Send it out again. The Chardalin-crowned Duergar shakes the engineer by her collar. I want this dragon flying now. I want the surface dwellers destroyed. I want an end to your excuses. Lord Zodarak, we had to delay flight testing. Trying to straighten her leather apron, the duergar squirms within the clan leader's grasp. Why would you pause my plans for domination of this valley? Crystalline joints scream as the black crystal claw grips tighter. The white dragon, my lord, she started nosing around, and we thought it best not to antagonize her. I could not care less about the white worm. Finish your duty. Launch my dragon. Destroy those towns. And we pick back up. In the wake of the successful sports ball, goat ball to be specific, episode, the Cold Hands crew burst into cheers. All of the Goliaths of Wyrmdoom Crag were yelling and cheering and stomping, and all of it was interrupted by an absolutely earth-shattering Ol'Bitey immediately turns to everyone there gathered around the goat ball arena. Everyone, I need everyone into the caves now. Into the caves.
Let's go.
Into the caves!
Yep. Points to all of you. Points to the caves.
Naruto run.
I already have like hands on backs of heads of the people next to me and just like, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Everyone is as quickly as possible diving through this tunnel at the top of the top of the stands. Ol'Bitey's standing on the outside, making sure everyone gets in. And the entire time, as the Goliaths are passing by her, she just keeps saying over and over again, "Where's Jarik? Where's the worm speaker? Jarik! Have you seen the worm speaker? No. And they're just working their way in. Ol'Bitey, on a hunt. He went on a hunt. A dragon was here just 2 weeks ago. She shouldn't be back already." As everyone is working in, I never should have let him go on the ice. Arveiaturace has been unpredictable. She looks at all of you, her eyes settle across you, and they stop at Mirth. Wait. Looks at the rest of you also. Do any of you speak Draconic fluently?
Mirth thinks about lying, but then says, yeah. Let me guess, your worm speaker is on vacation?
Arveiaturace shouldn't be here. She only comes maybe every 2 months, and she was just here 2 weeks ago. There's something... She should not be here.
How can I help?
Do you see Stegarius? As she points down to the skeletal remains of a dragon at the foot of the hill. I need you to hide inside his skull and talk to Arveiaturace.
Say no more. And I think he cracks his knuckles, but his tail is shaking. And I think he peeks out. Does it look like he can slide down the hill and hide in the skeleton?
You definitely can.
All right.
Do you want
Mirth,
backup?
before he can overthink it, slides down the hill, and he tries to look cool, but I think he slides a little too hard and lands on his ass. So he's like trying to do the Tarzan slide, and it's just like... And then I think he like scrabbles and gets inside the head, and then realizes he's not exactly sure what to say, and he peeks through the nostril and looks up at Ol'Bitey and is like,
I'll be right there. The rest of you into the caves now.
Question, is the skull big enough for a second person?
Yes, it is.
I have been like kind of ushering people through, but also very absent-mindedly like looking out the entrance a lot because Laine dropped his coat and is in shirt sleeves and is like, oh no, I'm going to freeze. And so like sees Mirth like run and get that kind of like panicked look, and then is like, I gotta get my coat, and like run out like I'm just gonna grab the coat and just go and slide in with, just to give you some emotional support here.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's great. We can get eaten together.
Yeah, exactly.
Brom actually would have waited for all the Goliaths to go in to prevent the people from, falling and being trampled and stuff. And he's still waiting at the entrance. So he was actually waiting for them all, and now he's just kind of like paused there, watching. Not really sure what he'll do, if things go wrong, but that's...
You'll stab her in the eye.
Yeah.
If she sticks her head close, you'll run in, you'll be the toothpick in her tooth.
Sure, yes.
With your sword.
He is not well acquainted with Arveiaturace at all, but his people do work with dragons, and he knows enough to know this is like not a very good situation, and this dragon is far larger and more powerful than any that he's worked with or even seen.
Nia's actually going to stand with Brom too, just in case anything goes wrong, so he can be ready to help.
Okay.
Always have an exit, buddy.
So putting you two at the entrance right here would be acceptable?
Yes.
Azarus will turn to Ol'Bitey. Exactly how blind is she? I heard she was blind. Oh, she's very blind. So if I stand at the entrance there, will she see? Probably not. Just stand still. Don't move. She might just think you're a rock. Okay. I will be nearby, friends. Right here at the entrance. And Azarus posts up at one of the entrances. Ol'Bitey hops down from the arena and slides down as that roar just echoes again.
Perfect.
She slides down. You're stuck in the nostrils lane, down toward the end of the muzzle, and Ol'Bitey starts gesturing. There, the horn. We inverted the horn so that it'll amplify your voice a little bit. Give that feel. Look, Arveiaturace is mostly blind, and over the years, at least the generations that we've heard, she's been going mad for quite some time. She talks to herself. She talks to her rider, who, as far as any of us know, has been dead for 100 years. And she talks to Sigerius. And she pats the skull that you're inside of. We don't know why. And we don't think she knows he's dead. But we have for generations had a wyrm speaker. You just need to keep her calm. Entertain her. Until she gets bored and wanders off. Is that something you can do?
I take a shot of whiskey. I think he has like a little flask and it's shaped probably like something goofy. And I think he takes a shot of whiskey and positions himself, and he kind of, I think he looks over, he looks at Laine and kind of does the nod like, okay, here I go.
I like immediately have been like the dad pat on your shoulder, like, you can do this. I'm right here.
And where is Arveiaturace? Is she?
She's not landed yet.
Here. Mirth is going to clear his throat and lean in, and he's going to project a rumbly chocolate bass into his voice that he never does unless he's being a sexy singer. And he says, Arveiaturace, my fine kin, it is I, Sigerius. What brings you to my door?
Ol'Bitey says, you're excited. Let me get back inside the caves. As Ol'Bitey turns, she'll say, when Arveiaturace lands, there's two things that can be helpful. One, try and figure out why she's so agitated. She only visits every other month. I don't know why she's so active. And two, remind her that people taste awful. We just always do that. Good luck. If all goes poorly, you will have, we'll all escape out the back and hope she goes away when she's done with you. Sorry. As she turns and runs back up the snow.
Thanks.
And
Mirth nods at Laine
into the
again,
cave.
like, here we go. Does she hear us?
Just a few moments after Ol'Bitey makes it into the caves themselves, there is this earth-shattering as an absolutely enormous white dragon lands just a few feet away from the statue
Oh my
and
god.
slowly starts to make her way, serpentine walking back and forth. At a glance that you can just barely see through the cracks in this frozen over an ancient dragon skeleton, you can see that her wingspan, fully stretched, is probably 100 feet. She is the bulk of her body is easily 30 feet wide and another 60 long before even reaching her tail. This creature is enormous. And she settles up close
No.
to Stagirius and curls
I grab
up
Lane's hand.
on the ground.
I was already reaching for the dad's shoulder again. You and I are on the same page, Al. I love it.
Stagirius, how have you been?
Better than you, I sense, friend. What troubles you?
Huh? Is it so clear? Am I that easy to read?
Perhaps not for others, but we've known each other long, you and I.
We have. We do know one another so well. That is actually what bothers me so much.
Mirth looks at Lane.
Laine doesn't speak Draconic, so he's like, what?
Mirth makes a sympathetic rumble in a specifically like a very draconian way. I think it would translate to kind of like I think it's hard to translate into common, but he makes a rumble of recognition and is delighted by how it comes out through the horn.
Yes. We've been considering some changes of late, haven't we, Metheron? Yes. Metheron thinks a change of pace would be good. Maybe it's our diet. The reindeer are good. The mammoths, excellent. Perhaps the 10-towners, maybe.
Sagarius makes a snort of derision and says, I can't believe that you would suggest that. Those gristly, hateful little things. Surely you should prefer a juicy, soft mammoth. I so love to peel off their fur.
You've been eating my mammoths, Stagirius, and here I was thinking you preferred the goats.
Dragon laugh.
Well, maybe not then. I am confused, though, if you are concerned. Are you, my friend?
So, out of character just for a second, how big is the skeleton I'm in? Is it about the same size as her?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So we would be equals.
Fairly close, yep.
Okay, in that case, I'm not gonna I'm not
like
gonna.
Arveiaturace answering out of character in this voice.
It's intense. Okay, so Mirth, noticing the size of Sigerius' skeleton, knows not to be submissive about it. If it was a much smaller skeleton, then perhaps he would fawn. But as it is, I think he says, there are not many who have seen and know so much of the world as we. I'm lonely. You're one of the few dragons that can understand the pain of being so ancient.
I suppose I do have Metheron, and you have nothing. Your little pets.
And the Schwinga that you passed by that played in the bones start to dance on the back of the spine of this, and Arveiaturace reaches out a claw. And this claw, you can tell as she reaches toward this skeleton, it's longer than a great sword. The claw itself is probably 8 feet long, coming out the end of her talon.
What the fuck?
And the Schwinga jumps on the edge of it and just starts dancing and spinning on it.
Oh, Schwingas.
I kind of like.
Friends.
I just
go ahead.
protectively hold little Bubby's box to me, 'cause that scares me.
He's like a sprinkle to her.
There has been that interloper. Have you not seen them? You stick to the spine of the world, and I to the veil. Have you not seen them yet?
Sigerius teases and says, I would be surprised if you saw something before I, friend, but it seems that I might be ill-informed. What is it that you see?
Well, there is another dragon edging into your territory. Shiny black crystalline scale. I had
look
to
at
get
Laine
quite
with big
close to get the look.
What?
It seemed unbothered, properly submissive. It allowed me to investigate, and as it should, sat in silence before its greater.
Mirth says, of course it would. There are none stronger than we. And then he pauses and says, is it a young dragon? Some foolish hatchling come to challenge a territory, ignorant of its ruler?
Too large for a wormling. Large enough to be looking to nest, perhaps.
Then it shall feel my teeth, Sigerius says in a really cool, giant, rumbly voice. And Mirth is actually going to put his back into a snarl.
We have been close for many years. If you want assistance, merely call. I'm sure I can come up with a satisfactory trade. It's been quite a while since I've had a clutch of my own. The last went missing.
Mirth panics and nearly squishes your hand into like a pillow, Laine, that moment. And I know you can't understand, but like his ear fins flatten, and
Yeah.
he's like,
Laine is just like panicking in silence. She's like,
Mirth forces himself to make a flirtatious crooning noise and say, until my territory is safe, I cannot think of such things. But tell me, friend.
I'm focusing on my career right now.
Yeah, it is. I'm really busy being dead. I think Sigerius says, I'm flattered for your visit, and dismayed at your distress.
Always so compassionate and concerned about my well-being. You're a good worm, Stygius. A good worm. And she will flex her wings.
She will flex her wings, take a few steps toward the cliff, and with a massive take back off into the sky.
Okay, you did it.
She wants me to beep her!
Brom has
What?
been stress sweating this entire time. He has no idea what the heck they were talking about because he doesn't understand Draconic, but he seems very relieved when the gigantic white dragon has flown off.
Ol'Bitey goes as soon as Arveiaturace has started to move away, which I will get rid of her. Ol'Bitey comes running down the side, slides expertly down the hill to the dragon, and knocks on the skull.
You've got Arveiaturace on.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like
sorry.
that this is Roxx's sign.
We talked about it before. So I was
We did.
like,
I said
Yeah,
wave your
this is
hands
our
frantically. The signal was the so that should be off, right? Because I can't
Yes.
hear it.
Yes,
Okay.
you
You're
sound
good
normal now.
All right, good. So Ol'Bitey goes sliding down the hill, stops at the skull, knocks on it. You did excellent work.
Yeah.
What did you figure out why she's so flustered?
Yes, but I need to talk to my companions. Let's go back up where it's not inside of a skeleton. And Mirth
good
is
idea.
gonna tromp with Laine up the way to go to Neo and Brom and Azaris. And
Laine does like the protective thing where he like gets you up first. Just like go.
So in a voice that's a little bit like residually growly and deep, because Draconic has really specific kind of avian clicks and rumbles. It's like this interesting language, and it's as though he suddenly has an accent that he's code switching out of as he speaks in common. And he says, I feel bad for her. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I feel bad for her. She's old, she's senile, she believes that her master is still riding her. She's lonely. And she saw a large wyrmling, a Chardalyn wyrmling, encroaching upon this area. And she said she investigated and that the wyrmling remained silent, which makes sense. Because if it was an artificial Chardalyn being like those that we've been dealing with thus far, it would make sense that the wyrmling would remain silent, and that in her delusion, she would assume it was submissive, when it might have just outsmarted her like we did and tricked her.
Or perhaps they're not done building it yet.
Or perhaps she implied that it was coming closer.
Definitely done then. Okay.
Seems like something we should stop before it gets started.
I look at Ol'Bitey and say, I implied that I would be interested in hooking up. So I don't know how that's going to go for the next worm speaker.
Well, Arveiaturace has, according to the worm speakers at least, propositioned a few before. She either forgets or nothing's come of it yet. But from what we've always known, most dragons don't require a mate to make a clutch, so I can't really tell what it is that she wants. I think it's just the companionship. The promise they'll be here next time, almost.
Mirth looks a little sad.
I do appreciate the heads up, though.
I can't
But,
believe I'm feeling sad.
I will assure you, she is incredibly dangerous. in so many ways.
I think the loneliness
Mirth
probably
says-
makes her more dangerous.
My clutch mates were eaten by a white dragon. I have great prejudice against them. And he looks sort of distressed, and this is hearkening back. It was many episodes ago, but Mirth was insistent that we kill those dragon hatchlings, which is not normally his way. And yeah. And so he looks surprised at himself.
You handled this very well and fast, then. That
Thank
was
you.
Kind. That was kind.
And then he looks down at your hand where it's like a hot dog and goes, oh, and like releases it and like, thank you for coming with me. You're so brave.
I wasn't the one talking to someone who I'd sworn to kill all kinds of.
Her claw was like 8 feet long. Mirth
Yeah, I
says
saw that.
nervously.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was 12 feet long. It could have been foreshortening or perspective. It's probably longer than that. Maybe like 15, possibly. So
I mean, let's stick to like
14.
8, maybe 10 for
10.
You're gonna make
Yep,
a song
10.
out of this, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
10 is
Yep.
easier to rhyme. Just
Yeah, 10. 10 towns, 10. Yep.
Okay. Great. Got a theme going there.
Mirth.
10. Great theme. Okay.
Mirth, my heart was in my throat that entire time, says Brom finally. And he kind of like clears his throat. He's got that like weird teary thing that you get when you're like overly tense for a while, because he's not level 10 yet and has not gotten the ability to feel no fear. So he was terrified. Yes, he kind of like clears his throat. You did well. And you got information from her.
I'll give Brom a big hug.
From
More
her,
like I think I flop onto you. It's like it could be a hug, but it's more like I flop and go kind of slightly boneless, like, oh my god. Doing this on the wall of the cave would result in freezing to it. So instead, flop. And then Mirth says, there's a part of me when I was speaking with her, it felt like coming home. It was uncomfortable.
We'll get you home soon enough.
Brom kind of opens his mouth like he's going to say something, but instead he just supports Mirth instead. Like, it was emotionally taxing.
Complicated history of his people activate. For sure.
Ogilai will say, I'm so sorry to hear about your clutch mates. That was quite brave of you to stand before her and keep your cool.
Thank you for
you.
trusting me.
Honestly, we were desperate. None of us are certain what would happen if Stygiarius didn't talk to Arveiaturace.
It's so smart to have done that. How did you figure that out? It's so clever.
Let's go inside. We'll talk more there and get out of the cold a bit. She leads you in to the caves, and the very first room that she leads you into is one where there are just a number of other Goliaths. This is their central sleeping quarters. Everyone seems to have this as a common area. This is where we gather. This is where the everyday events happen. She gathers you there and collects some pillows and props them up along the side and gestures for you to sit. Basically, the entire cavern floor here is just covered in these blankets and pillows. And you see Goliaths lounging about in different places. She gestures and then she sits on a pillow herself. It's been many long years, and the story goes that Stygiarius came to us, threatened our people time and time and time again. And finally we had had enough. And our chief at the time spoke Draconic. He went forth, stood at the top of that hill, and yelled out to Stagirius that if he returned again, he would be returning to his doom. Stagirius did not take well to that, and, well, the entire clan gathered to fight and slew Stagirius. Right there, at the base of where our clan has always called home. We learned later that Stagirius and Arveiaturace had I suppose, a little bit of an alliance. Her rider had already been dead for years at that point. No one really knows how long that desiccated frozen corpse has been in that saddle. And she started talking. She is, and always was, much more volatile than even Stagirius. It may have been a fool that went down there the first time, but it seemed to work. She's listened, didn't seem to even notice that Stagirius was dead. And so for the last few generations, we've passed on that message, and we've kept the skeleton in place as a reminder to all of us of what we can accomplish together and what dangers we can face that don't always require a fight. Plus,
They're good lessons to learn.
Arveiaturace is massive, and she terrifies all of us.
Yeah. Wyrmdoom is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And Mirth is like just genuinely astounded, like that this community straight up tricked and killed an ancient dragon and now has outwitted the other one. Like the degree of ingenuity and like scrappiness to be able to do that. And this can like Mirth is like, oh, and he remembers how there was like a stone in his pillow the night before and how uncomfortable it felt. And now he's like, well, shit, people are really tough out here, you know?
About that time, a hunting party comes sprinting in from the front of the cavern. And completely out of breath, there's this middle-aged Goliath tracker and a much younger, kind of an older teen tracker right at their side. And he starts breathing heavily. Ogilai, we saw her coming and tried to get back in time. Has Arveiaturace landed yet? Jarek, yes, she has. Our friends here helped. Oh, I am so sorry. We had no idea that she would be back so soon. What's wrong? And Ogilai fills him in, and the hunting party kind of collapses into pillows around the room. Well, I'm glad it worked out. That black crystalline dragon. Yeah, we've received word of it too. There's been more duergar on the surface. We found even more while we were hunting. They told us of a Lord Zardarok. He's planning to destroy the 10 towns and claim the Vale.
You won't let him do that.
No.
As near as we can tell, his fortress is somewhere southwest. Many days by foot. Someone needs to find it. We need to find a way to address this. The 10 towners have been good to us. We know this and need to be good to them.
Well, on behalf of the 10 towners, thanks.
He kind of looks up and... you're welcome. This is Icewind Dale. We have to stick together, I suppose.
We've got each other's backs.
We were already on their trail. I suppose this gives it a sense of urgency to Brom. He's been kind of listening this whole time. He seems thoughtful.
Ogilai looks to the rest of you. It's still early in the day. You are welcome to stay and rest if you need to. Our home is yours. And as promised, I will most certainly be sending word to Sky Tower Shelter. There is all the more reason for all of us to be together.
Yes.
Brom
I'm a
smiles.
social worker.
Well, thankfully, both of you agree on the matter of the duergar. They were the ones who summoned us to try and ask for our help.
And it will be easier to make up than to fight a dragon, so you guys should do this fairly easily.
We'll be stronger together.
You are right about that. Well,
Together, you will be unstoppable, Mirth says, and he looks a little like, holy shit, when he thinks about it. Like griffin riders, dragon defeaters, what the hell?
Yeah, we
Like,
know
can
some
you
really cool people
imagine?
now.
Can
Are
you
we even
imagine?
We are not the
I think
cool
we're the
people in
side
this story.
characters.
Yeah. We are not the cool people in this story.
No, I think the Griffin Riders and the Dragon Slayers are currently take the cake for coolest. I correct my assumption. Brom's taste in men is excellent. So he chose wisely. All of my other choices, poor.
Who did you choose?
Oh no, were you there? I don't remember. A couple of sessions ago, when he saw the Goliath, he was like,
Oh yeah.
it was like that meme with like the guy and like the lady and then the other lady.
The distracted boyfriend meme of just
Yes,
like,
he was like distracted boyfriending the Goliath, but secretly, and by that I mean slightly obviously, but he's too dumb to be able to hide it. Hasn't acquired that skill set yet.
And why would he need it with his lifestyle and background? Yeah. We love repressed religious guys.
It's like time to pray a lot.
Ogilai will
and on that note,
look up at the a couple of the Goliaths off to the side and says, Kaga, Zuri, head to Sky Tower Shelter. Arrange the meeting. Let them know what happened here. Tell them all we'll meet in just a few days. The two Goliaths right away hop up. They grab bags from over next to their bedrolls and head out the front door to make their way to Sky Tower.
Speaking of which, we should really feed our griffins.
Oh golly.
right.
Oh shoot. I wonder if anybody here would be willing to spare. I know that food is an important amenity, but ooh.
We can,
Ogilai will
Golly.
look. Your Sky Tower let you ride here.
Yes.
yeah.
But we decided to park we decided to leave them not here
I
for
can
obvious reasons.
appreciate the concern, and I hope you fully appreciate the honor.
We do.
We're so cool. The griffins. Okay. Yeah.
Retrieve the griffins. Make sure Arveiaturace didn't scare them away, and we're happy to help.
Eat them. Thank you.
We are very grateful.
Yes. Thank you.
Azarus looks at all of you. That was quite eventful, friends, wasn't it?
Brom
Well,
makes an
buddy.
anxious face and then pats his arm, because even though Toxie is not here today, Brom still reassures his friend.
I do not think I would taste good, though. I don't know.
I think you taste okay.
I think you'd give them indigestion, and that's a compliment.
Nod.
Thank you, both of you, I think. About that time, a very small figure is standing in a
Oh my gosh.
very Azarus-looking helmet, carrying a very Azarus-looking wooden sword, wearing a very Azarus-looking piece of tin armor. All of you notice before Azarus does that as Azarus looks to each of you and talks, they are mimicking his every move. Huh. I don't think you taste very good at all. And knocks on the side of the leg. Azarus again puffs up a little bit, turns and looks at Mercutio. I still don't think that I like you. Well, let's fix that, shall we? This'll be fun! And in a moment and a flash, a beam of sun and a circle of wildflowers takes Mercutio and Azarus away.
Well,
Brom winces visibly. He feels like this will probably not end well.
somebody else is gonna have to ride his griffin while he's gone.
Brom raises
Yeah,
his
Brom's
hand.
got to do it. That's gonna be so cool. You gotta ride the big chunker.
That chonky boy.
Big,
I just hope
Sky
Azarus
Rooster.
doesn't kill them.
big chungus.
Big chunkus.
Azarus might be strong.
Big chungus for this magnificent, beautiful griffin. And T's like, I would name him Big Chungus. And then we have Lil Bubby. What the hell, guys? We have these incredible beings. They're a beautiful, fantastical world. And it's like, Lil Bubby, Big Chungus. God.
All right,
To be
canon.
fair,
It's Steric. All right,
Okay.
that's Big Chungus is Steric.
Christian name.
His Christian name. His given name is Steric.
Crying a little bit.
It doesn't take too
so
long for you all to find the griffins and lead them back. And the griffins are a little apprehensive as they are brought past the skeleton. It's the skeleton of the dragon at the base of Wyrmdoom Crag. But as soon as you get near, the Schwinga that live within the skeleton pop out, fascinated. They start gesturing to each other. They're making the same kind of sound of the wind language that Lil Bubby uses. And each of there's 4 of these. 3 of them climb over and start riding the backs of these griffins dramatically, waving to each other, manifesting and throwing snowballs at each other, and it helps to ease the griffins. They seem calmer by the exchange. You lead the griffins in, and when you get to the front, you're kind of directed off to a side cavern. And when the griffins enter, there are these massive haunches of mammoths awaiting them. And they are thrilled.
Just as a note, when the Schwingas come out, now that it is safe, I want to let Lil Bubby out and let him socialize a little bit with other Schwingas again, just to see if he and maybe do a check of they're your people, so I guess if you want to stay with them, you can. Just type check in with these are your people. Do you want to go play and stuff?
Little Bubby gives you that look that the little kid does to their parent. Can I go play?
I was more encouraging you go play with your people.
and little Bubby just shoots away in a flash. And all of them, as you lead the griffins into the cavern, all the Schwingas kind of bounce off and start chasing each other around the ancient dragon skeleton.
And Bubby's the cool one because he's known the griffins the longest, so...
When you arrive, your griffins are fed for the day, so you don't have to worry about the feed for the griffins today. And they stretch somewhat like massive cats and lay down to rest, because they were flying for about an hour and a half, and they'll need to rest for at least that long before they fly again. So in the interim, for at least the next hour and a half, what is all of your plans?
Should we come up with the game plan of what we're going to do next?
Good idea.
I think so. Brom is going to try and get a little more information while they're here, too. So, well, that's definitely part of what they should do. He wants to know more about, because these people seem very knowledgeable about the whole situation with the Arveiaturace and the dragon. So he wants to make sure they know everything in case they run into her again. Or
Good
have
idea.
other situations going on. So he'd probably want to huddle with the group first, just in case, because they can run out of time to talk to each other, which would be bad, or they can run out of time to talk to the others, which, wouldn't be great, but it would be okay.
Okay.
Do we want to go fight the dragon before it goes and destroys any of the 10 towns?
Well,
I think-
didn't you talk it down? From
Oh,
that?
the Chardelin Wyrmling, I think, is what
Yeah.
Neo might mean. Is that what you meant, Neo?
Yeah, the big shiny black dragon.
I think to find them, we'll have to find the Duergar king. The
Yeah.
one-
What was
the father.
his name again? What was the name of the Duergar king? I know it was said
Oh,
in character.
I have
Zardarok.
this.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is a
Yeah,
recurring
yeah.
dude.
We know him.
I want to call him Zardoz for terrible reasons, but I'm not going to. And I promise I won't clarify.
I tossed it in the roleplay chat. Zordarok.
And you're a Arveiaturace again.
Okay. I don't know
I
how.
just like that we do this now.
Because, okay, that's all right. As long as I'm no longer a Arveiaturace. Anyway, I tossed that into chat. I bet when I copy and paste it, I accidentally hit the D instead of the C. Okay, got it. Yes, so Zardarok's that. Yeah. And I think that's all that I needed for that end of things.
Do we know if he's even at the tower? 'Cause
He
there
must
might
be.
somewhere else.
I feel like even if he isn't, we have the direction that the rest of them thought that he'd be, or at least his minions. I think either way, we'll go directly to him.
I guess it's time for a fight.
Conveniently without Osiris.
Well,
We have to
And
get
I
Osiris
glare
back.
at the sky.
well, it'll
So-
take some time.
Well, maybe Laine can speed things up with his patron if we get lucky. And Mirth gives a sympathetic look of, I know that's like trying to control the wind. And but we do need Osiris with us for this battle to save this community. After we get Osiris back, should we? I bet that they would allow us the use of their griffins. The question is, where should we fly? What do you think, Brom and Neo, Laine?
Didn't Sky Tower Shelter have an idea of where the Duergar were
Yeah,
least
didn't we get told?
active? Yeah, and he pulls out his map.
We have that in our
has
notes.
one. Yes, and he points to where the his boyfriends and their wife pointed out where they should be going on his map. All in good jest. If he actually heard anyone say that, he would die, but...
You're able to get that, so they gave you that general idea of where the fortress was. Sufficient that you're fairly certain that with some, good map following, you could probably get there, and all of you do some of the math in your heads of how long travel has been. You know that if you have to go by foot, it's probably a 90-hour walk from here to about where the fortress is. And if you go by flight, it's about 5 hours.
Much nicer.
Flight.
Let's get out our air miles here. Check your luggage. Passports out. Get ready to go.
So now that you have a plan, Brom wanted to ask around about some other things.
He did. He would talk to people who look. Well, first of all, he'd be very polite because they were previously threatened and not quite insulted, but what's the word? What's the word when you dunk on someone?
Dunking on someone.
I'm just gonna say, okay, fine. They were, and Wyrmdoom Crag did dunk on every single one of them when they came. So he's very polite when he meets each one, and he kind of like asks around about where they, trying to get more details because they need to figure out where the duergar are and be like, hey, do you remember any duergar activity? Have you guys had any threats from duergar? Is there anything else going on in the area that we should be concerned about? And do you have any idea where Arveiaturace is centered? Because we don't want to run into her on accident.
You start asking around, and you are directed to that hunting party that just came in. Among them is Jarek, who is the worm speaker of the tribe, and Jarek can tell you absolutely anything that you want to know about Arveiaturace. Jarek's position within the clan is to pass on their knowledge of Draconic and their knowledge of Arveiaturace to their apprentice. So you have Jarek and Karik. Karik is the apprentice, and Jarek is the worm speaker. So I have to write that down real quick.
What does Jarek look like? For no reason.
Brom's like...
Oh my gosh.
Brom's
what?
Look at me.
I need a glass of water.
Look, there's a lot of very beautiful chiseled people
He's
around.
parched.
Okay?
He's dehydrated.
Quiet.
Poor Brom. Give me a second. Let me see if I can... So... Jarek... Ooh, that's a mean-looking Jarek. Not that Jarek. I don't like that Jarek.
Get hot, Jarek.
Get hot,
No! Get
like
old man
firefighter.
Jarek. No.
Get like firefighter calendar, Jarek.
Let's not. How about Jarek is a 95-year-old
Banana
Goliath?
hammock.
No. He's fully dressed and 95 years old.
Hamster for scale.
Look.
Is that how that works?
You asked. Why were you asking
the wrong
if you were
screen.
Don't start
picturing a
something you can't
95-year-old?
finish.
I'm
Why
just
were you
telling
asking
you
if you were
that
picturing a
is
fully clothed 95-year-old?
it is relevant to Brom's interest. If they're if they're
This is the
95 and
best.
fully,
Relevant to his
if they're
interest.
if
This
they're
is the
95
best.
and completely clothed, then he won't be completely dumb while trying
This-
to.
This is the best "it's what my character would do" I've ever heard.
Oh my god.
So there's
Okay.
I
Jarek
have
for
to
you.
check out the Goliaths. It's what my character would do.
It's true though. He's looking respectfully. Well, he's looking very respectfully at Jarek from this role. So, he kind of
Jarek-
like
Jarek is probably, from what you can tell of, the way that Goliaths age and that sort of thing, he's probably about somewhere between his late 50s to his mid 60s. But
got a nice
he
beard,
is
though.
an absolute wall. being the worm speaker, he has to project power and strength. He has to be prepared at any moment, both emotionally and physically, to go toe to toe. And as you talk with Jarek, it doesn't take too long before you learn that he's a little bit more soft-spoken at first around people, but he does have quite a presence to him. And Jarek is, let's see, Jarek is the line of defense against Arveiaturace. He is expected to not only speak with and pacify the creature, but if necessary, he is the one that fights Arveiaturace long enough, theoretically, even though you know and everyone knows he can't, long enough for the clan to get away. So there is this inherent selflessness to the position, where it's him and his apprentice are the two. Karik and they're the ones that they are that last line of defense if for whatever reason the whole facade falls apart. So yes, both of them are incredibly fit, they're incredibly strong, they have a massive presence.
Massive.
That is their role.
Roxx's face. Roxx is judging Brom right now. Okay, everyone's judging Brom.
Yeah, I'm judging.
Okay.
I saw her DM's eye twitch.
Okay.
You're very good, Dave, but you're not that good. Your eye twitched.
Okay, so
Dane's put up with so much from us.
all right. So Brom Brom does that thing where you're talking to a movie star, but you turn really red and your voice kind of falters when you're trying to speak, which isn't very much like Brom in case you have known him. But he does go ask him because he needs the information and he doesn't want to fail to get information because he's dying of embarrassment.
Yep.
So he would go up and, he'd ask, I'm sorry we missed you previously, but we were able to defuse the situation. Arveiaturace, I did want to know more about her in case we run into her again. We actually ran into her on the way here too, so I know it's not impossible. I know she's going mad. She's blind, and she has a rider. Have you seen her rider? Are you sure he's gone?
He chuckles. You have met Arveiaturace before?
Yes, on the way here.
Well, consider yourself lucky then. She is mostly blind, mostly mad, and most certainly the most dangerous creature in the entire Vale. As for her rider, from what we were able to learn and we've passed down, Melthorond was a wizard a very long time ago. He was able to tame Arveiaturace, at least enough for her to be his mount. And, well, that corpse has been there for generations at this point.
That's so sad.
Is that why she doesn't kill people in the 10 towns because of him, or is it all you?
Well, we do our little part to help. I imagine that part of her preparation to take on a human rider was in some way an apprehension toward eating humans. We don't really know for sure, and I don't know if we'll ever know. We do know she still speaks with him, and we know that he most certainly does not speak back.
I see. If we run into her in the open, what should we do? hide.
You run away from her as quickly and as quietly as possible. She may be blind, but she is still dangerous beyond belief. Do not think that the weakness in her sight makes her weak.
He nods. I see. Is there anything else that we should know about her? Or about anything else of that magnitude, he says, stuttering a little bit, out in the cold. His eyes kind of settle awkwardly, and he does that thing because he's short. He's quite a bit shorter than this fellow, where like he kind of looks and he accidentally like looks straight between his pecs, and then he realizes that he's looking in a weird place, and then he just kind of like looks over his shoulder. It's really hard, especially when like that's where your eye line is. He's very tall, but
looks at Laine, and Mirth gives Laine this look. That look of you seeing what I'm seeing.
Brom just kind of shifts uncomfortably and cracks his knuckles. And you can't see it because I'm too short for my camera setting, but he's just kind of like doing this anxiously as he's talking.
Arveiaturace lives on the glacier to the far north. We think that that is near where her rider may have once lived as well. But we really don't know for certain.
There are towns up there?
Oh, there is no town.
I didn't
Be
think
their
so.
home. Thank you. I appreciate the information. I should get back to asking about, your hunting party, he says, like kind of stopping himself. Have you seen any duergar activity out there? We had a tip from the other Goliaths we met, and we're trying to, he pulls out his map and kind of like points to the area that was circled. We're trying to figure out where they are so that we can put a stop to their scheming.
Yes. I'll have Karik fill you in. I need to go speak with Ogilai, so if you'll excuse me.
Yes.
He gestures toward Karik, and Karik is about a 7'6" woman who is as muscular as all the other Goliaths that you've seen. She has a little bit more hair than some of them. A lot of them just have the ponytail on the back, but she seems to have this just very short haircut. A lot of the same. She has two very straight-lined geometric tattoos coming from her temples to her cheekbones, straight down the sides of her face to her jawline. And she looks at him and says, "Of course, I will fill them in." Brom, was it?
Yes, that's me.
We did come across duergar, and many of the hunting parties have. The most recent information is that there were some in Easthaven, heading that way. Now, we have healthy trade relations with the 10 Towners, but we don't know if they know about the duergar or not. Have you heard of them bothering 10 Towners?
Yes, although they were only stealing from the ones that we ran into. We had a skirmish that resulted in the death of one of their leader's sons. He says, he looks kind of ashamed and kind of like looks down at his feet. He says that.
Well, conflict is often an inevitability. From what we could tell, the group was going to Easthaven, but this was weeks ago. I don't know if they are still there. I don't know if they moved from there, but we knew of that group heading that way, and we've seen them about periodically in the ice.
we'll just have to keep an eye out then. Thank you. He
Absolutely.
seems much better at talking to her than talking to her master, for sure, and does not seem as agitated when speaking, just in general. He kind of like wipes his, and he's kind of sweaty from playing sports ball earlier too. So, but he kind of like wipes his brow, and then like does that thing where you're like, oh, that's gross, from the Rime that was there. He had, they ran away right after right after playing sports ball, so he never like wiped his face or anything. Thank you. I know this is rather last minute, but I do appreciate the hospitality your hold has had toward us.
We're always happy to have guests, especially ones as capable as all of you appear to be.
Thank you. It was really all it was all Mirth and Laine who resolved all of this, he says, and he kind of like turns to look at them as he says this over his shoulder.
In any event, I think that you have done a great good for the Vale, just with bringing that invitation, that perhaps us and Sky Tower can get along again.
I hope so too. Well, I'm glad that I could help, but I wish we could do more. I know we just don't, I don't think we have enough time with the Crystal Dragon is almost operational.
That's the more we can do. We can take care of that shit. You thought that game was good? Wait till you see us when we're done with that dragon.
She kind of glances at you, Mirth, and gives you a half smile. Brom, I'm glad you all are here.
Thank you, he says, and he nods to her. He's very polite. I mean, when he goes up to everyone, I usually don't mention it too much, but one can tell that he probably had some kind of noble upbringing because he treats, but unlike most nobles, he doesn't treat everyone like he's not a snob. He treats everyone as if they were a fellow noble coming into his house or something, but he inclines his head in a bow, and when he greets people, he offers his hands like this and waits for them to put it in his without like grabbing their hand and things like that. So, but yes, he inclines.
What a perfect gentleman.
He tries.
She takes the offered hand, and it's wonderful. Gives it just a little bit of a squeeze. Thank you. I must head back to Jarek.
No. Yes. Thank you for your time. He lets her hand go and kind of like looks back over his shoulder at Mirth and Laine, and then goes to rejoin them.
Well, time passes here in Wyrmdoom Crag, and it gets to a point where you know that you can safely fly with the griffins again at any moment. It's about midday or so, and the question is, where would you like to go? What would you like to do? And I think, actually, that it's 10 o'clock. It makes for a very opportune moment to take a quick break, get a quick stretch, refill any water or empty any waters that need emptied, and come up with the plan and come on back. So I think that is what we will do. So we are going to take just a couple moments. So chat, hang out, don't go anywhere. We'll take just a quick, probably 5 or 10 minute break at most, and we will be back to see where the Cold Hands crew goes from here. So I will hit the button, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Yay, okay.
Oh, befriending the Griffins, a quest they have been given. They flew north to prove their worth in a sporting tradition. Oh, the ball flew back and forth. Competition gave them warmth, and the last round victors were found. Now they're champions henceforth. Oh.
Welcome back. We have spent some time stretching our legs, refilling our water bottles, and making our way back to the events at Wyrmdoom Crag. We pick up with the party on Griffinback sometime around midday, flying toward Easthaven. After some conversation with the Goliaths at Wyrmdoom Crag and amongst themselves, the decision was made to get a better idea exactly of where this fortress might be. And if there are duergar heading toward Easthaven, then that might be the perfect place to get the rest of that information. So, because we are traveling, I do need a few things from everyone. Niffer, if you would roll a d8 for me. Al, if you would roll a d4. Roxx, if you would roll a d12. And T, if you would roll 2d4. That would be greatly appreciated.
I'm a terrible D&D player and forgot to get my dice.
6 total.
6.
Okay, 6
4.
total is there. Alright, and then you got a 6. Alright.
Got a 4.
A 4 from Al is there.
11.
And an 11. Alright. Well, there we go. All of you start flying through the air, minus Azarus, on Griffinback. Brom taking over the reins of Steric, the biggest
I'm
of
sorry,
the Griffins.
he prefers to be called Big Chungus.
Immediately, as soon as Azarus is gone, after learning the majestic name of his griffin steed, the rest of the group adopts it as Big Chungus. And you begin that flight over air. Having looked at the map and already knowing where Easthaven is, you know that it is a 4.5-hour flight over the tops of the mountains and toward Easthaven itself. As you are flying, you fly over the area of the Cave of the Berserkers, where you were swept away, and passes relatively, uneventfully. It's dark, as it has been. Without the sun, the stars overhead really only give you the sense of day because there are none of the aurora suppressing the light. The wind howls. Your griffins clack their beaks at one another, almost seeming to have their own conversation amongst themselves. And it isn't really all that long. In fact, you know that it would take days of walking to cover the distance that you covered in only about 4.5 hours of flight. Before you arrive to Easthaven itself, at about 5 in the evening. So I will send you to Easthaven, and I will place you... we don't need Easthaven to be vision only. That is completely unnecessary. Reveal areas. Just reveal the whole map. How about that? Sorry about that. For some reason, this is resisting me turning on sight. We'll do that. There we go. Turn it all off. When in doubt, turn everything off. And you land on the road just south of Easthaven itself, or just in the outskirts of Easthaven, and I will just give you a marker. We'll use, we will use...
Have we as a group been in this one before?
No. As a group, you have not been to Easthaven.
Okay. Thank you.
And we will just
haven't.
stick Neo on there so you have a general idea of where you are.
He is the group leader.
Easthaven is a pretty good-sized village. It's setting on one of the lakes, Lochdenashire. Like so many of the other towns of 10 towns, it makes its living from the lake itself, eating the knucklehead trout. There's people milling about. It's a busy place. Yeah. Where would you like to go, Laine, in Easthaven? Where would you like to start for investigating anything about Duergar?
Well, first of all, do we have a place to like stable the griffins safely that people won't be afraid of them, like on the outskirts or anything?
So the people of Icewind Dale are a hardy group. They know that there are Goliaths that ride griffins.
Okay, cool.
They're a
So we
little
can
put
take them into
off
town?
by you walking griffins into town, and they'll give you, you're gonna be looked at. But the whispers that you hear quite quickly, word of what has been going on the past few weeks has been spreading across the 10 towns, and Laine, your legend has grown again significantly.
Dang it. Okay.
And it is quick where people are, they're pointing and they're looking
Yeah.
not only at the griffins, but at the rest of you too.
All right. Then I'm standing tall and going to probably just a tavern that is very well known and known for being hospitable and open and full of good knowledge.
You think about the taverns in Easthaven, and there's really two to choose from that would fit that. One's called the Wet Trout, and the other one is the White Lady Inn.
The Wet Trout. I want to go there. Well,
Brom,
what was the other one again?
The White
other one
Lady
sounded-
Inn.
Well, that one sounds a little classier. We could go to the White Lady Inn if you want.
No, I don't share this knowledge at all.
Does it do yoga
I think
and
about
pumpkin
the two.
spice frappuccinos?
I don't share the knowledge of the two different inns. I just consider my options, and then I'm like, we're going to the Wet Trout. And then just like
Yes.
I just am like, okay, we're going, and I just lead the way.
Wet Trout. Wet Trout.
I don't even tell you that's where we're going until we arrive and you see the sign yourself.
Brom just kind of blushes at all the weird attention that he's getting and would politely kind of walk through any people that have gathered with some quiet excuse me's and such. He's not used to people paying that much attention to him, especially since he's basically just a journeyman, and nights where he comes from are not that abnormal. You see them all the time.
Makes sense. So, you make your way to the Wet Trout itself.
Oh, God.
Wet Trout. As you approach, you can tell already. Sorry. It is easier to see when everyone does it, by the way. And it is when I copy and paste. I accidentally hit the button that turns me into a dragon.
That is very entertaining to look at the stream and see all of us just flapping.
Yes.
Someone clip it.
As you approach this inn, throughout your walk through town, everyone's been looking and staring and whispering. Part of you thinks they're whispering about the griffins, but the other part, you start to realize, yes, they're talking about all of you also. And you approach this inn. It's a large inn, mostly made of stone. The top half is wood. It's 2 stories tall, and it's quite large. And as you get close, all of you see the sign that's hanging on the board outside of it. And it looks like the back end of a fish landing in a pool with a splash. So you've got a splash and the back end of a fish face first into the water. The Wet Trout is located near the docks. It's definitely the largest and the loudest of the taverns in Easthaven, known for its ribald atmosphere and rumor mongering. You make
I
your
start
way
getting out my instruments.
as you approach. Mirth prepares for the stage. The doors open. The griffins obediently stand off to one side. You're fairly certain they won't go anywhere without permission. At least
They're
as long as they, don't get hungry or get left behind. And they seem fairly comfortable. As you approach the inn, they walk over into an alley nearby, circle the ground a little bit, and the three of them just kind of flop down and start preening.
They'll be fine. I feel bad for anybody who harasses them.
Yeah.
Well,
Can you
everyone
imagine
knows-
a drunk person walking into that alley? Just
Everyone
being
knows the risks of griffins around here. They'll be safe.
I'm just gonna make sure they're well fed. He himself is actually gonna look around for an armory. He would like some better gear if they're gonna be fighting, and maybe there isn't any, but he's still gonna see.
Laine is familiar enough with the 10 towns that he can point you to.
Yeah, down the street, 2 turns to the right.
So as far as armory,
good.
Ish.
the closest you get is a skilled
Made that up.
blacksmith.
Alright.
So you can speak with them if you'd like, but there's no true armory in Easthaven. It's not a big enough town for that many weapons to be made, and most weapons that are made find their way to the town hall for the militia to take care of.
He would try and he's gonna see if he can. It may not even be available. He's gonna see if he can purchase some half plate or scale mail.
Okay. We will look into that here after we get started in the tavern itself.
Alright.
So as Brom kind of takes his leave to head off in the direction that Laine pointed, you open up the doors to the wet trout, and within is an absolutely bustling set of common rooms. 2 of them on either side of a massive fireplace through the center of the room. Behind the bar, shuffling frantically, is who Laine knows, Nemetra Miskin, a Dragonborn of White Dragon ancestry. She is serving drinks. She is complimenting the guests. She has this massive toothy smile on her face, and you can see that her fangs are scraggly and mismatched. She has the opposite of well cared for fangs, and is smiling and slinging drinks around. Off to
sounds
one
so charming.
corner is a table that Laine, you know them by reputation, but you recognize them right away because of that reputation. There is a tiefling with a scar running from the horn above his left eye all the way across his face and nose down to the bottom right side of his cheek. And you know that that is Sithin. And Sithin is the one who owns the Easthaven ferry. He's talkative, he's happy, he is a rumor monger, and he tends to be one of the better informed people within Easthaven, and really within the 10 towns themselves.
Excellent. I am going to kind of see Mirth's kind of draw to the bartender at Dragonborn and just be like, wanna divide and conquer?
Mhm.
Okay. Have fun. Neo, who you wanna go with today?
I'll go with you.
Alright, come on. So, and I'm gonna like do the like arm around of like, okay, we are going to talk to Sithin. He is very well informed about the whole place. Alright? So give him the respect that is due, but also you're gonna be big around here. So respect yourself too.
Got it.
Alright, let's go. And just head and kinda approach very carefully.
Okay. We'll start with the... we'll jump over to Brom with the blacksmith, then we will come back to Sithin, and then we will end with the barkeep. So, Brom, you walk the few blocks, the directions that Laine gave you, and find yourself just outside of a blacksmith shop. You can hear the hammering from coming within, that ting, 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 that regular ring that you know well, having spent a lot of time around forgers and weaponry of all kinds. As you open the door, despite the cold outside, the room itself is just stifling hot, and it has just a slight sulfurous smell within. In the back, there is a rather broad-shouldered woman that is hammering at making what appears to be a horseshoe, finishing it on the anvil. "I'll be with you in a moment," she calls over her shoulder and continues her work for a bit.
Of course, no rush, says Brom quietly.
You look around and you see a lot of tools. You see a lot of saddle work. You see a lot of kind of cooking utensils, pots and pans. You don't see any armor. You don't see any weapons at all. There's this hiss as she quenches the horseshoe, and a tink as she tosses it into a barrel with, who knows, probably 300 others. Wipes her hands off on her apron, starts walking forward. She kind of takes one look at you and looks you up and down. "So, what brings you to Easthaven?"
We're actually on a case of a sort, but I do realize I think I'm going to have to, if possible, improve the quality of my protection, he says, and he kind of like pats his chainmail. I'm looking to get some, to purchase a half plate or perhaps some scale mail.
Half plate and scale mail. I can't say that that's necessarily my expertise. But, well, maybe you can talk to the speaker. They might be able to help you out. Yes, his name is Wayland. Him and
commander.
Captain Imdra. The two of them might be able to help you. She commands the militia.
I would be more than happy to speak to them. Thank you. I did also wish to know, where can we purchase healing items?
I'm sure that Speaker Wayland and Captain Imdra might have a few on hand. We don't really have need of potions in Easthaven. It's much easier to find that sort of thing in Bryn Shander than the rest of the 10 towns. We're fishing folk.
I see. I'll see if I can get in touch with them. Do you know what direction they might be? And she would get the sense that his clothes look like he's been walking around in the cold and ice for quite a while, like probably a couple of weeks. So he's not brand new, but he certainly doesn't look like anyone who lives in Icewind Dale, that's for sure.
Yep, that was the next thing she was going to point out. What is it that brings you here, though? I mean, there's mercenaries that come through every now and then. You seem fairly well equipped, and yet you're looking for more armor. Should we be concerned?
Well, I'm searching for we're sorting out the matter of the duergar right now. There's a number of different affairs that have brought me here. I am Sir Brom Layton. I have come here on request to seek out a number of different individuals, and I'm merely following orders to close a few cases from the mainland. So I hope that may answer your question. I'm a paladin of Torm, he says carefully.
Of Torm? A strong god, yes.
I should only hope to be strong enough for him, he says, and he kind of like half smiles.
Is Torm benevolent?
Yes.
Is he Did he send you to save us from her? And she kind of gestures her head up toward this symbol above her door. It's this old iron snowflake.
Brom inhaled. It was not my original mission, but yes, that is where he's telling me to go.
We revere her out of fear, you know. The cold is unpleasant, hateful, and unending. The Vale, or the Dale, needs help.
We'll try and work. Our plan is to do our best to vanquish it, and of course to end some other matters that are of concern around here. We've already dealt with a few, but it seems like the more that we do, the more we unearth and the more problems we seem to find by unpicking. I've done my best to see that my order closes some affairs on our end, but it leaves us with the task of dealing with, he kind of gestures broadly to indicate everything. I do not know if we will be successful, but if we fail, there will be more, so do not lose hope.
Thank you. I have work to tend to.
You know.
She turns and goes back to her work. Your best bet for both potions and armor would be the speaker or the captain. And Laine would know where the town hall would be.
Brom kind of like lightly jogs back with all the pleasant jingly sounds of a bunch of coins in a bag, and tries. He's hoping that by walking faster, he will attract less attention than he already does in his bright red cloak and colorful clothing.
You did this to yourself.
Sounds good. Back to the tavern itself. Neo and Laine, you are approaching Sithen. He is sitting at his, what appears to be his comfortable place. He's relaxed, he's deep in his cup, and, Laine, you've known of Sithen for a while, has this, reputation of being a happy, good-natured fellow. And as you approach, you see the most downtrodden face you've ever noticed look up from his cup.
Oh no.
Does he have like a seat open across from him?
Yeah, there's room at the booth on either side of him, and there's chairs on the other two sides of the table. So kind of a corner booth is a way to think about it.
I'll sit directly across from him.
He kind of glances up and looks back and then does that double take.
So by now I guess you've heard about it. I'm out of retirement.
Achilles Laneheart,
Hey.
making his way through the Dale.
The one and only.
And a friend. Wait, are you? You have to be Neo, aren't you?
Neo curtsies.
Aww.
Yay.
Pleasure to
Your
meet you.
reputation precedes you, young man.
What have you heard?
Only good things. Only good things.
That's
They say you're fighting against the darkness.
We're doing our best. It looks like you haven't been hearing good things. What's up?
Well, the cold has finally shut down the ferry for good.
I'm sorry, friend.
It's frozen at the docks. I haven't been there in weeks, and I didn't realize how much I enjoyed traveling back and forth. I miss it.
Is there anything we can do?
We're doing it, Neo. We're saving the Dale.
Right.
It's
It's what we
quite a
intend
change
to
of
do.
pace when one's entire livelihood shifts like this.
I know. I retired, remember? It was a big change.
And back at it, I see.
One
Kinda-
last job.
Takes a drink. One last job.
And
That is a phrase that many say. Lainhard.
You know I mean this one.
Well,
We could use your help for it. What do you know of the Duergar and the location of their fortress?
the Duergar. Yes, they've certainly been making their rounds, haven't they?
Yeah.
I've heard that there's a few wandering around town somewhere. I'm not sure
Deep in
where
town
yet.
or the edges?
I think they've made it much deeper in.
That's not good.
The thefts are more regular. I think they're becoming emboldened.
What are they thieving? Food? Supplies? Weapons?
Well, they've been taking food, of course, supplies and the like, but I also think that they're taking a crystal of sorts. There's a few people around town that, well, one way or another have come into some black crystalline shards.
Yeah.
And those are
We've
being
encountered.
stolen one by one.
We've encountered some.
I think they're collecting it for some reason. No way to know what.
It's
Yeah,
nothing good.
I don't know.
Now, you do remember what's in the middle of Town Hall, don't you?
Do I?
You do?
Is
The
it a
stat-
giant crystal shard?
The statue of the White Lady carved from a black crystal shard.
Yep.
There is a
That hasn't
6
been
foot
hit yet,
tall
is it?
piece of Chardolin in the Town Hall of Easthaven.
Sweet. That hasn't been hit yet? That's a good sign, at least.
I suspect it's only a matter of time.
Indeed.
Pretty big, so we probably have a hard time stealing it. Says T and not Brom,
Yeah,
who's
really.
not here. Yes, but
All right. I kind of look at Neo for any further questions, and also Niffer has forgotten what else we're looking for. So, any other things that we should be?
Are there any other people who still
Oh,
have
yes.
black shards that you know of?
That's a great question.
There's always bits and pieces of it floating around. Family trinkets, odds and ends. No one
Luck charms.
specific,
Yeah.
but it has been a commonly missing item of late.
Keep on the lookout.
Indeed. I'm checking my pockets a second because I would like to leave him with some money.
Okay.
Do we have any more questions for him?
No.
Okay, that's cool. That's good. I am going to put just kind of reach across and like pat him on like the forearm if it's like resting on the table, just like we'll do our best to get business up and running as fast as we can for you and the rest of folks here too. You've been doing good things for the town, and all we're doing is trying to repay everybody.
That is appreciated.
And as I'm like patting him, I'm also like leaving like several gold, like 10 for him there. And then I like stand up and walk away before he can notice and say thank you. I would like to not be thanked.
As you're walking away, Neil's gonna curtsy, bye, and run after you.
Over to the bar itself, Nemetra is working her way down the bar, pouring drinks for everyone, catches Mirth's eye as you approach the bar, and Nemetra leans on the bar, looks at you and says, "Ah, my, aren't you a pretty visitor? Your scales, they
Mirth-
glisten."
Mirth immediately just, like, I think he literally fluffs his frills out, like, and he leans on the bar and mirrors her and says, "You charm her! I'm Mirth Immaculi. Who are you?"
Mirth Immaculi Nemetra Miskin, I could not be more pleased to be meeting you.
Mirth is delighted and is happy to make small talk and/or he's gonna perform. That's definitely a thing, but also he is happy to, and I think would find comfort in helping bus tables and kind of doing things that he would have done at the circus. I think, especially with someone as charismatic as she is, I think like he would probably just fall in and end up doing kind of casual support in the bar in a really like easy way, because judging by like your descriptions of her, she's just like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth kind of a thing. So I think he just performs and goes table to table and collects tips and helps out. That's kind of the scene I want to have. Is that okay?
Absolutely. That works perfectly. Every time you go back to the bar to either drop off any empty cups or to pick up more, you find out quickly that she just has nothing but great things to say about everyone that comes into the Wet Trout. She's passing around compliments. She is, praising people for their choice of coat or the color they're wearing. She is incredibly appreciative, and you feel appreciated.
I feel so appreciated.
You needed this validation.
Brom,
I said you needed this validation moment.
Oh, always. I need validation every single second.
Constantly.
I got a lot of validation, but I need
This is
more.
great
I
for
need
ya.
like a chaser of validation after
this is your
everything that
day.
happened earlier.
It's great.
It's been good. Yeah.
Brom makes his way back, and all of you reconvene in the tavern. And if you don't mind, work out a plan while I try and find something real quick.
All right, so listen up, squad, fam, squam. There have definitely been duergar here, and they have been stealing food and supplies and stuff, but also sounds like every bit of Chardolin they can find. And guess what happens to lie at the center of town?
Something Chardolin?
A lot of Chardolin.
A very large statue carved out of this, in fact.
Oh, goody. We love statues. Mirth says sarcastically.
I mean, we don't love statues, but this does kind of sound like perfect bait.
We know where they'll strike, so we know where to get them. So are we gonna stake out?
I imagine that would
Absolutely.
be good.
That'd be the best way to
Yeah.
find them. I was not successful finding either potions or armor. I was told that we should talk to the town speaker to see if we could arrange.
Yeah, that's true. The town guard usually has a couple of spare sets of armor sitting around, so I'm sure, especially if, not that I like doing it, but if you name drop, people will give you a lot of things. So
I don't want anything free. If we're going to be,
look at it this way: it's not free.
Love free
They are
things,
paying
says
you-
Mirth in the background.
They are paying you for the service that you have rendered to them already, and upon which you will be rendering again. You are a protector of this land now, like it or not.
but I have to. It's my job to do this. I'm not supposed
And
to be
it's
paid.
it's your job to do this, and you need to do it well. And you're going to do your job better if you have better things.
Passion.
So he kind of like anxiously wrings his hands a little bit.
Besides, if they don't get to give you armor and useful things, they're going to do much more annoying things like follow you around asking for signatures. So I promise, it's better this way.
All right. I
I
suppose
very
we could
pointedly
ask.
don't look at Mirth right now.
One of the things during this conversation, Brom, that you remember is from the last encounter with the duergar. You picked up a crumpled piece of paper that was a note.
That's right.
So I copy and pasted the contents of that note into Roll20. As that was months enough ago, you might have forgotten what it said.
Oh.
Let me see.
I'm just sitting there chatting with her. She's
Heck.
so charismatic. I'm just sitting here with my new best friend. God, that couldn't have worked out better plot-wise. That could not be better.
Oh no.
So Nemetra, sorry, I pasted, it's where it says brother is the start of the note.
Oh,
Nemetra
I
was
was
just,
like, okay, cool.
no, sorry, no, that's a...
I was like, dang,
no.
you sneaky guy. You
No.
just, you gooped me.
Take me right back to that bar.
Sorry, no. I didn't realize that that's what you were reading.
We were like, there's a plot. Oh no.
I was like, damn.
Anyway.
Either way, though.
So it starts with brother. You will find me on the frozen ferry in Easthaven. From this new base, the search for Shardlin continues. Long may our father reign over this dark land. Love dearth? Is that what the last message is meaning for?
It certainly doesn't say love, but yes, it is
Okay,
signed
but
Dearth.
That's sweet.
I got a little creative with my letter delivery, but
Loved Earth. Yours dearly.
XOXO
Always.
dearth.
Just a
So,
little friend.
So it.
Filled with the kids.
Sorry, was that the frozen days? Frozen dock.
So essentially, you have two courses of action, and either one is fine with me. You have reason to believe that the frozen ferry has been claimed as a base of sorts by some of the duergar. And you also know that the duergar are seeking Shardlin, and there is a 6-foot-tall piece of Shardlin in the town hall. So you tell me.
Maybe
We
we
should-
go.
We should get
Brom.
the ferry back.
I was gonna say maybe we start the evening with a little bit of light reconnaissance. Come back here and then investigate the Shardlin statue bait afterwards. Are we? I should have asked when the thefts usually would tend to happen. Were they at night or during the day, like when people were out of their homes, etc.?
So the people of Icewind Dale have still retained a... They've done
Night
fairly
day.
well with the night and
Yeah.
day cycle because of the aurora.
Yes.
Most people sleep through the aurora because it's a way to kind of forget their problem. They don't have to look at it, they can pretend it's not there.
Yeah.
So most people sleep when the aurora are out, which does correspond to what night used to be.
Yeah. And so robberies happen during this night cycle.
Yes.
Okay.
They happen when the auroras are out, and it is quote unquote night.
Boys, we're doing a stakeout.
Come on, steak out.
Stake out, stake out.
Stakeout. Get those
Stakeout
tunes,
outfits.
Get those donuts. Get the, black beanies over our
Yes.
heads. Yeah.
So burnt.
Naruto headbands.
Naruto
Naruto
headbands don't.
headbands.
And it
Oh.
helps us to be sneakier.
All black
think-
outfits and binoculars. We got.
I think Brom would be like the worst ninja in the entire world. I'm just putting it out there.
Yes, I think
Yes.
so too. Love you, Brom.
Anyways,
You have to experience it,
how
though.
long until Aurora time?
About 3 hours before the aurora come out.
Yeah. So
It's
I
about
think
5
we
in the evening.
take a stroll down by the ferry, and then we go talk to the speaker, maybe see about better armor, and then ask if we can maybe do a stakeout.
And this time I need to go get the all black clothes as well. That way we can.
Yeah,
be
maybe
better
a hat for you.
A hat. Can he wear a
Probably
hat?
burn through it. He,
Yeah.
he can like dim his hair down a little bit to where it's just not like. But yeah,
Do we-
a hat may not be his best.
What about
We
a
sprinkle a
babushka?
different. Just burns through the hat again. I was thinking, what if we sprinkled like a different mineral composite and turn your flame red temporarily, so we dye your hair? That would surely work, right? People would never know that you had a palette swap.
They never know who I am.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
definitely not
International super spy.
dangerous
How would
to
they
his
know?
skin or hair.
All of you make your way toward where the Easthaven ferry is docked. You make it to the end of the dock, and in the, perpetual darkness, there's just the torches set along the dock, and there are boats everywhere. You notice during the walk along the lock itself that almost every boat is frozen in place. The lake is just a sheet of ice out probably a mile or more. None of the boats are moving. Every once in a while there's people fishing in little ice fishing cabins that are sitting on the ice. But generally speaking, there's not the kind of economy and activity that you would expect to see in what is essentially a fishing town. So you know that the Easthaven ferry's at the end of the dock. What is your plan?
So, did we want to go do a stakeout, or do we need to assess something?
Oh, sorry, I thought we were going to the
ferry?
ferry first. I
Yeah,
might
we're
have
going to the
misunderstood.
ferry just
Okay.
to kind of like see,
Okay,
but
sorry.
like
Scope it out.
we should still get our like stealth clothes first because we're like. It sounds like from the letter they already have a secret base there, right?
Yeah.
From this new base, you'll find them. So I feel like we need to start sneaky like now.
It only takes about an hour to collect what you would need.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
2 hours till nighttime.
Yep, so you have 2 hours left until the Aurora come out. Collect all of that, you make your way to the end of the dock, and you tell me.
Also, as like we're going along the docks, if Neo sees anybody fishing, he's just gonna like shoot a fireball to melt the ice a little bit more for them. It feels bad. Fishing
thought you were-
town, ice water.
So
I thought you were
during
going to
the
say shoot a fireball at them.
during the
That's our
walk,
fish now.
Listen,
Can you
during the walk,
imagine?
Neo is every once in a while just tossing flame out into the lake.
that's just his version of throwing a grenade in the lake and letting all the fish float up.
Oh, you
No.
did say.
At first, people are pretty put off by it. When a fireball comes arcing toward them, but they look over and they see your little, blue fire hair, and you get a lot of waves back.
Aw.
Just
Discretion, our middle name.
Yes.
Let's get on our stealth clothes.
Yeah, we're trying to be
Pow,
stealthy.
pow.
You, you get a firebolt. You get a firebolt.
Go to your chair. Firebolt.
Exactly.
We're great at this.
Listen,
From the
you
end
are
of the dock.
you are training. You're new at this. It's okay.
From the end of the dock, you can see the ferry at the end, completely encased in ice. It's a keel boat, not particularly large, and there is just one small cabin situated toward the aft end of the hull.
I'm guessing that's our destination.
If you're sneaking, then I will need a group stealth check as you make your way across the docks.
Let's
Brom
sneak.
Okay. Brom would offer to stay away from them, not impede their stealth.
Okay.
That might be good. But where will you stay?
I don't know. At farther. Oh,
I mean, my thought was maybe we like actually don't go on the dock itself. We go kind of make a wider circle and come over the ice itself.
Okay. So coming across the ice itself sounds good to
That
me.
would be Lane's instinct.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
So
we'll-
maybe Brom plays the part of, oh, I've just stumbled onto this dock, and if you get caught, play it off like that, and then we'll come from the other side.
okay.
for a sense of scale,
Like,
the dock is about 350 feet long.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it's perfectly. I mean, this is a good. These are big fishing boats. These are not. This is not a. This. Think much more like ocean fishing than lake fishing. So the scale of these lakes is more Great Lakes than, going to the lake house on the weekend type situation. So a group stealth check or Brom skipping a stealth check, either is fine. T got a 12 heading up the docks, and the three of you.
I also got a 12.
A 12?
So it's just sorry, I have like one brain cell left because it's so hot in this room right now. But is our plan to have Brom distract somebody and we're gonna sneak around the back, or
More or less.
I
Sorry.
kind of was more thinking of like, you should still try to stealth, but if you get caught, like fly casual and be like, "Oh, I'm lost. What do I do?"
I'll go with you
yes.
then, Brom.
Okay. I
I'll
was
go
like,
with
yes.
you. We'll be
Brom.
drunk ramblers if we need to be, and then those two can go in and get the inside deeds.
Oh no, Brom's acting skills.
Don't worry about it. Just sit there and look pretty.
He can definitely do that.
So the group divides, and the party splits in two. We have Brom and Bright, or Mirth. Gosh dang it. Brom and Mirth making their way up the dock, and then Neo and Laine coming from the ice. So Laine, if you are stealthing, I need a stealth from you.
A natural 20.
Okay, and then
Oh.
Mirth, your stealth.
I was already dressed in all black, and I can see perfectly in the dark. I'm fine for this.
Your goth is awakening. So Brom and I are gonna make stealth too. Is that what you're saying, Dane?
If that's what you'd like. Otherwise, you can just walk up. You can do if you want to be drunk instead. You can roll performance instead of stealth.
I figure we may as well be stealthily drunk. Let's try stealth first, Brom, and just see. And if we suck, we'll play it off.
Sounds good.
All
Want
right.
to try it?
That's the goal.
So
Sure.
Brom's
All right.
Brom's 12 stands.
I rolled a 16 plus whatever the heck my stealth is. Oh, I have a 5 in stealth. What?
Whoa!
I'm stealthy.
So
You're like Solid Snake.
Brom is
That's a
rattling along.
21.
Brom is rattling along the docks while Mirth very lightly hops from shadow to shadow, probably invisible to any onlookers. As it looks like Brom is jumping from one shadow to another, and it could be that the distraction is what's helping Mirth just be so invisible from one to the next. Neo and Laine make their way from the other direction, and all of you convene at this ferry with a single cabin frozen in the ice. No one has approached you, spoken to you. The docks seem empty. Not much reason to go out there with all the boats frozen in.
Does
cabin.
it sound like there's anybody inside right now, or did they go home for the day?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Ew.
I don't know what my perception
Nope.
is.
9.
14.
14. You don't hear anything except the cracking of ice every once in a while. Not dangerous cracking, just the sounds.
Yeah,
of
I'm like,
Somebody in there.
You told me it was frozen out for a mile. I'm perfectly safe.
Oh yeah, everyone's perfectly safe on the ice.
So did we just enter in? I guess there's nobody in there.
I mean, slowly, but yeah. Let's
Come
try
on
it.
in there. Yeah. Sell some
Right.
Girl Scout cookies.
I'm pulling my bank robber cap even further, and we're going.
Brom. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
As you step onto the ferry itself, everyone give me a survival check.
No!
no.
Why do you say that?
It's not
to
a
us?
it's not a save. It's just a check. I want to know if you notice something, not something bad happening.
Models are bad tonight.
Okay,
4.
that's scary.
Why do you
though.
harm us?
17. 17 plus probably nothing.
I got a 1! Oh,
18.
14.
A 1, an 18, a 14, and
18
Roxx,
for me.
and a 4. Okay.
Well, I rolled a natural 1. My actual survival is so it'd be a 4, but I rolled a 1, so it'd be a crit fail. So have at
Laine,
thee, DM.
Laine, will you roll a d4 for me?
Okay. Okay.
It's gonna be whatever damage I take. So thanks.
3.
3. You look down, and you see what appear to be 3 distinct sets of dwarven footprints on the ferry itself in the snow, leading toward the only cabin. Brom, you see that there are very clearly 4 distinct sets, and they were probably made within the last 24 hours.
Brom would hold up his hand really quick to the others and kind of make the motion. He doesn't say anything, and then, like, would do his best, like, closest to Neo's head to do 4 fingers so that he doesn't, like, create light or anything.
Okay,
No,
so
you know,
there's 4
like,
people.
yeah.
Mirth nods
And-
like, okay. Let's
And he makes
listen
them-
for him. Let's perceive.
Okay. He makes a
we
motion that
perceive?
they're here.
And I
Yes.
just remembered.
Mirth,
that
you want to
I-
listen for them? Go ahead and roll perception. Now, you have reason to believe there's
Yeah.
something in there, so go ahead and roll with advantage. And
Okay.
I think you had a +2 from chat. No, Lane.
No, that
did.
was somebody else. Let's see.
That was Niffer.
Brom
Okay,
got
the
a
first
2.
one was 15, since it's advantage. Let's see. Ooh. 19 for the second one.
A 19. All right.
Wait,
What
do I
do
get
my
to roll again?
dragon is here?
Oh. Well, 6. That's with advantage.
A 6 with
Yikes.
advantage.
Yikes.
He rolled a 2 the first time, okay? Brom is, like,
Oh,
listening,
shoot.
and a piece of, like, snow falls on his face or something.
We are not smart.
A yellow
Sorry.
icicle.
Oh, no.
No. I'm a teenage boy.
That and that. All right. What was the Mirth? What did you get?
I got a 17, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
You listen close. I guess I could actually turn off the lively cafe music. You listen close and don't hear anything from within.
I look at Brom and I make a gesture to my ear frills and shake my head. Like, I don't know. Should we ready ourselves and open the door? What should we do?
We're gonna have to confront them regardless, so I think we should just go.
Kick down the door.
Let the bodies hit the floor. I don't know why I thought of that.
I
I know, if Azarus
I
was
know,
here,
it's
we
like-
could just be like much more confident of ourselves. Well, Brom, go ahead and open that door, and we'll stand behind you and
No.
cover you.
We will stand on either side of the door so that we can sneak.
So we can give him the old one too.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Brom draws his sword and would, once they're situated, open that door.
Lane is gonna like put his shield down as like just a barricade / maybe just a bashing movement, and also draw the sword just so that we're ready.
While everything else has a layer of snow and ice on it, the door is surprisingly chipped free. You reach forward and pull it open, and within, there is a space about 10 feet square. There are 4 sleeping bags set onto the ground. You see packs of rations and a crate with food in it off to one side. And then there is this very small, not really much more than an end table in the middle that has a piece of paper opened up on it.
Are there any like light
You see
sources
nothing
in
else.
Ooh, a diary. Yoink.
Here? Is there a light source on in here, or is it like all?
There's no
dark?
light source on in there.
But
Okay,
therefore I don't
so-
need them.
I'll light up a torch.
I mean,
And
I don't
torch.
need.
Oh, that's right, you are a torch. I'll stick a torch in your
Yeah.
hair and then hold it.
Generally speaking, I consider Neo enough of a torch so that you have some idea of what you see. And then when you light that other torch, you get a better look at that opened up piece of paper on the table. And it appears to be a map of Icewind Dale. all the locations of the 10 town settlements have been marked. And then there is a X that you recognize as being just outside of the name of the town where you fought the Duergar before.
I can't remember.
Dinaval.
Is it Karakonig?
I think it was Karakonig, but it might have been Dinaval.
Is it Karakonig?
Oh darn, now I have to look at the map because I'll know as soon as I look at the map, I hope.
Speaker Kranich was missing in Caer Dinaval. I was pretty sure it was Caer Dinaval.
I think it's Karakonig.
Okay.
Caer Dinaval's the Black Swords. It was Karakonig.
Okay.
So you see an X just outside of Karakonig, and you see a additional X that is in the spine of the world to the south, southwest of the Goliath tribes, the Goliath clans. And there are dwarvish letters written all over, next to both of them.
I know Dwarvish.
When you look, you see that the set to the southwest of the Goliath clans is labeled Sunblight. And the one outside of Caer Konig is labeled Outpost.
Sunblight sounds great.
Brom is going to make it an executive decision, and that decision is to copy all these locations onto his own map.
Yeah.
He cannot read Dwarvish, I don't think, so he
I would translate and be like, this says Sunblight, this says Outpost.
Okay. He'd go ahead and write it. Yeah, he knows Elvish, so he'd be like, but he'd go ahead and write that in common next to all the locations on his map. Since they're here, he kind of like looks around and says they're probably out trying to steal things right now. I bet they'd come back when they're ready to rest.
I don't think they'll be dragging a 6-foot statue out here, though. We gotta get to Town Hall.
Nod.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's book it like Michelle Kwan.
Brom,
before they leave,
as you are making that note, I would like you to give me an intelligence saving throw.
What?
No! That's
Yes.
a dump stat! Like, as a group.
A
You can't make us
We're
do
dum
that.
dums. We're sexy himbos.
Oh goodness, yeah, he's got a +0 to this one, so. All right, Brom, don't let
You
me
can't do
down.
that to us! We're dummies!
Oh, 8.
8. I would like you to use your reaction to take that sword that you drew out as you entered the room
No.
and attack Neo.
Why no?
I knew it. I was like,
No.
Your mind starts to cloud, and in a way that you can't quite describe, Neo suddenly seems like a threat, and you can't stop yourself. You swing your sword to attack.
I'm the one with the sword out and the shield. Hit me instead.
You'll be next.
I
All
want,
right.
I want to body shield him.
Oh shit.
Did you roll 12?
Did you crit?
Nat 20.
No, I didn't crit. Hang on.
Nat
hang on.
20, and for my second
got-
attack,
He got a 23 to hit, and
Dang!
he turns around quickly, and with all the finesse of someone trained their whole life to be a warrior, he was kind of holding his sword was still out because he didn't trust the space, but he kind of like it's almost lazy. Like when you've wielded a sword for long enough, you kind of know how to use its momentum, but it's almost lazy. Like he kind of like turns like he's going to dance or something, but instead of dancing, he just kind of swoops this way and slashes at Neo to kind of cut across his chest. And he got a 23.
That hits.
hit?
That
No.
hits. Neil just kind of like looks up all sad, and he's like, Brom?
So what does Brom think? Is he just does he think he's an enemy, or just
You had
think
the
he's
sudden
evil?
feeling that he was an enemy, As soon as you finish the attack, the feeling passes.
He kind of like he looks really scary for just a second, and then
I
oh
immediately
shit.
body lunge to like put my hands across you and like hold you down. I have a strength of 7,
I
so it's
grab
not gonna
Neo.
work. But I am immediately like, no, you cannot.
Neo.
Try it.
I
I'm
grab
so
Neo and I
sorry.
go, Brom!
Well, Brom just did maximum damage to him too.
Dang!
He got 12 plus something bad. 12 plus 4, so 16 damage.
I came to fight. You
Brom
stop
was
playing
like,
around.
Who needs a Xeris? We got this.
Brom was like, look, I didn't get to fight anything. I'm ready.
Actually, we should be happy it wasn't Azaris.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what if
Xeris
it was
would've-
Xeris doing this?
Xeris would have done a lot more than just this. But he kind of like swoops around expertly and slashes Neo across the chest, and then kind of like stands there horrified. And he doesn't do his normal thing, which is like, you know, putting the blade back or wiping it or going back into a neutral stance. He just kind of stands there horrified.
Yeah, no, you don't, because I tackle you immediately.
Go ahead
For
and roll.
for the sake of what's going on after this, if everyone would roll initiative for me, that would be great.
No!
Woohoo!
No.
Burn, baby, burn.
Oh yeah,
Alright,
you
let's
wanted
do
us
it.
to actually
Ain't
roll
gonna die.
Decent roll.
Oh, do you want us to roll on the thing? Let's see.
the thing. The thing.
I'll
How
have to.
dare.
I can put everyone there
How
real
Oh,
quick.
wait, we
dare
can't.
you put us, the party of idiots, against something called a Duergar Mind Master?
Do
The
it.
highest intelligence we have is 12.
Evil. Evil boy, evil.
How dare?
Wait, we rolled well though. Which is good
Oh,
because
yeah.
Leo needs to run away into the night like
Okay, where's
Just Naruto run away.
patter, patter, patter.
I gotta go.
Brom just kind of stares in horror as he doesn't resist as he's tackled. Neo, he kind of like stutters. He doesn't even know what to say. There's no I'm sorry for this.
Mirth picks up on it and goes, something's here, and is going to ready for some kind of battle.
And Neo's
Hence
like,
the
it's
initiative rolling.
not your fault. It's something else.
Well, the
Brom would
something
never do
here
this.
rolled a crit for its initiative
no?
No!
Oh,
because that's how that goes.
Makes I hate it.
Bump in the Night seems like a good song for this.
This music.
And as you are trying to figure out, as Laine dives toward Brom, as everyone else is moving frantically to figure out what is going on, a Duergar appears just as their war pick falls on Brom. Or not their war pick, their dagger. Oh, they have a dagger. So they stretch out with a dagger at Brom.
I tackled him.
Oh, wait.
Can I please take that attack instead?
No, because it's faster than you.
But DM, is the chat faster than it? Because Rudolph wanted to use some chat points to disadvantage on initiative.
Oh, on the initiative, I will re-roll it.
Yay! Thank you, Rudolph.
yeah.
I will also
Thanks,
use
Rudolph.
my +2 from earlier given to me today.
No.
So the re-roll puts it. Oh, it rolled as GM. Sorry. I feel really bad about it rolling. I have to turn that off. I hate it when it hides my rolls. Never whisper rolls.
Roll assassin.
Okay. So even though that was an 18, I will roll a new one. It crit again.
What?
So
Dang it!
the disadvantage put me back at 23, right where it was. Sorry,
Gosh darn it.
Rodolphe.
Of course.
I love it's the thought that counts.
It
We'll
is the
remember
thought that
in
counts.
in
It's
our dreams.
it's the love from chat that you must hold dear. In any event, a 20 to hit Brom with a dagger.
All right, that hit.
You take 5 piercing damage and 14 psychic damage.
How is psychic different?
It's not.
It matters
unless
for
you
some
would
resistances.
Have, yeah.
If you don't have any
had
resistances, then
anything.
then it doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Ouchie.
Oh, sorry, that's not 5, just 1.
Oh, okay.
Because he's little, not big.
That implies he could get big if he wanted to, and I don't like that.
He could become big. Oh shit! I did the wrong thing. That is.
And then, you said that Laine has a sword and shield out?
I do.
Then it looks over and makes eye contact with you. And I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay, I'm the smartest one in this group, though.
Oh no.
No.
I rolled a 13.
13 is just enough. A 12 is the saving
Nice.
throw.
I am the smartest.
So that is its turn. We're not going to worry with a map because this is basically you are all in a skirmish in a tiny room. So unless you want to run out the door, everyone is on top of everyone else.
I make eye contact and my eyes just narrow. Just like, you.
It's your turn, Laine. As the duergar makes that attempts to get you to attack as well, it looks your way. What you all doing meddling?
You meddled first, and I like shove off of Brom and just immediately go to swipe at him with my hex.
Okay.
Let me look which hex I intend to use, because I have Hexblade's Curse. So I will Hexblade's Curse as a bonus action. And yeah, now I will like to attack it, please.
Go ahead.
I rolled a 20.
20 will hit.
Excellent. So I get +2 to damage because of Hexblade's Curse. That is a D8. Because it's a longsword and I have a shield. So 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. You cut into it and it hurts it pretty bad.
Hooray!
Anything else on your turn?
No, I use my bonus action and my action.
Okay, Mirth, go ahead.
I'm gonna cast Bane on it. You know how that works, right? It has to make. I think it has to make a save, a charisma save.
Charisma save. Okay, couldn't remember if it was charisma or wisdom. Rolled a 5, so they fail.
Okay, cool. So my dude has to make charisma saving throws, and whenever he fails it, he needs to roll a 1d4 and subtracts that number from his attack roll or saving throw.
Yep. Got it.
Cool.
Anything else, Mirth?
No.
Okay, Neo, go ahead.
I'm going to I'm going to hit him with an unarmed strike. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, go ahead.
You're gonna cast Fist.
Cast Fist with a 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Nice.
Punchy.
And 7 damage.
7 damage, all right.
And I'll use a key point to take the dodge action.
Okay, sounds good. Sir Brom.
Brom is going to. Actually, let me. Okay. Brom doesn't waste time like asking questions or anything. He actually he wheels, realizes that he was attacked and stabbed, coughs because he's probably been stabbed in the back. Judging from how much damage that was and what he was doing at the time, and then turns around the other way. He adjusts his footing so he can get a better stance going, and then strikes twice at the duergar himself.
Okay, go ahead.
Please hit. So 14.
14's exactly enough.
Oh, the other one definitely hit. like 24. 14
Oh,
and
yeah.
24.
Both hit.
All right, let me roll my damage. So
Roll your duergar.
it's 2,
Oh my god, duergar.
2, 3, 6, 6, 2, 3, 6. Plus 2 plus 3 plus 8. That's the total amount of damage for both attacks, not just one.
Okay.
So that's
12,
12,
22, 23, 24, 25.
25 damage.
You absolutely lay into this duergar, and it starts reeling from your two massive greatsword attacks. It figured your greatswords were pretty strong, but I don't think it was quite prepared for exactly what you had in store for it. On its turn, it sees if this recharges, and it does not. It looks at the group of you. It kind of looks at itself, and they look up. They look up at you and say, "My father will hear this. He will." And their voice just starts going higher pitched. He will, as he gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and shrinks down to a tiny size.
Oh no.
They then use their bonus action to hide.
No.
Oh no, evil!
So you see this duergar get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it just like steps into the sleeping bags, and you can't find it. You don't know where it's at. Laine, it's
And
your
that's all there
turn.
is to it. It steps into the sleeping bag and you can't find it.
Yeah, it shrinks. It's probably like 2 inches tall, and it rolled a 20. Rolled
It's
a
like
nat
on
20
a spider's
That's
in your
on its
bed
side.
and you just can't find it.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
exactly what
God.
just happened.
Or like an earring. Like it's just.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Brom
man.
kind of gasps and says, "It's the Duergar Prince." It's like he can't see any goddamn thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Laine,
It's
go
okay.
ahead. To remind everyone, in order to search for something that is hidden, I house rule it as a bonus action instead of a standard action because it kind of locks down everything if it's a standard action. So as your bonus action, you can look for something. Make a perception check, essentially.
I am going to, instead of looking myself, flip open the little box and just be like, "Hey, all right, you want to
Unleash
pick on
the bub."
somebody? You want to pick on somebody your own size?" And I'll just like send little Bubby, because he can go through things,
Yeah.
so he can just
Okay.
do a real quick back and forth everywhere.
All right.
And I'm gonna close the door so that the little guy, and I'm gonna sit in front of it and block it with my tail so he can't get under the crack.
Okay. The door closes. The four of you are in a basically 10 foot by 10 foot room, and somewhere in here there is like a 2-inch tall duergar.
This is amazing.
Go ahead and roll.
Its voice being so high pitched though. Imagine if we captured
Wait.
him.
Hang on.
Put him in a box.
Hang on. You got a voice for the dragon. Why did you not also get a voice filter for this?
I was just.
My father will hear about this!
What? You had one?
Mark my words! Damn you all to the 9 hills! Every last one of you will burn!
Oh my
Lord Zargar will
god!
tear you to pieces and feed you to his dragon!
Oh boy, sure he will, Squirt.
Oh my god, we gotta catch this Keebler elf and put him in a box.
Yeah, it's like little Screecher.
He's our new pet now. Goodbye, little Bubby. Hello, Duergar Prince 2-inch boy.
I am so happy right now.
I need a perception check
angry
from little
inch.
Bubby.
I don't know what issuing his stats are.
Even if you roll a natural 20, because of they also get a
Okay.
bonus on top of their 25.
Okay.
So, little Bubby shoots through the blankets and comes up. Anything else, Laine?
Yeah, let me check my spells. That's
Okay.
just really funny. I didn't know that I needed just somebody screaming bad things at me in a very happy voice, but I did. I can't do anything.
Okay. It is-
Make the light
Unless
brighter?
I could make it darker so I'm the only one that can see. But
Don't do
I
that.
I was like, I can turn out the lights, but that's about all I could do.
It
Okay.
disadvantages you in some ways because he also can see in the dark, so it
Yeah.
would just
he
effectively
can't see
lower.
in magical dark.
Okay.
I can see in magical dark. He cannot. So I would make it so I was the only one that could see.
You should do what you like.
I'm not doing it unless I'm gonna let us go like a round or two.
Okay.
And then
Mirth, your turn.
if we can find him.
Let me see. So Dissonant Whispers is described as you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear. Do I have to
Yes.
see it?
You know that it's there and it can hear you, so
It does not
discordant
have
whispers will work. It does not say a target you can see, which many
Okay.
spells
Nice
say
work,
that.
Al.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it hits. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wisdom saving throw. And they are at a -1d4.
They still
that was
got it, though. They got an 18, right?
They got a total of 15.
But wait, oh, wait. Oof. I don't know if I can do that since I'm the one who cast it. But I have cutting words, which can fuck up their rolls even further. But since I'm the one casting it, I guess it doesn't make sense for me to be able to do that. Would it? Because that's a bonus action, so could I... No, I'm answering my own question. That wouldn't work, unfortunately. It made
Okay.
it safe.
All right.
No matter how much I wish. Mirth is muttering to himself. It sounds evil and weird, but unfortunately, it's not
Yeah,
landing.
you can use your reaction to expend one of your uses of Bardic Inspiration. Roll your Bardic Inspiration dice and subtract the number from the creature's roll. You absolutely can use that right now.
I can? Okay,
Yep.
well, great.
So the way cutting, it says that when a creature that you can... Oh, wait. A creature that you can see. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I was already...
the clause. That's the clause.
I was already being galaxy brain. I can't win everything.
Yep. Sorry. I can't.
That's okay.
It's a... yep. But that is how that works. They pass, and then you cast cutting words. So for future reference, that would be how that works.
That is a thing you can do. Cool.
Yep. Even if I say they pass, you can say, wait, no, I'm going to say something mean about their mother, and that's when the Bardic Inspiration can be triggered.
Got it. Cool.
All right. Anything else, Mirth?
After all of that, no.
Okay,
That's
Neo,
that's my effort.
it's your turn.
We don't catch this person, I'm gonna be so mad. Did we see him go into this one specific sleeping bag?
He's hiding.
You know, if Azaris were here, we could just have him belly flop onto each one, and he would just smash
And
them.
just roll.
Listen.
Yep.
Wait, how many? There were 4 sleeping bags in here.
None of
Yes.
us weigh enough to
Yeah.
roll on him and do any damage. Only
Brom
Azaris
does.
would. Ooh, that's true.
Okay.
Brom,
Yeah, he's
belly
tiny,
flop.
he's 2 inches tall. Well, we don't want to kill him. We need him.
I mean, it would break his concentration on being tiny.
That is true.
Yes, but it would also kill him.
What's the plan, Neo?
And no,
We don't know.
Can I start by if I used produce flame to make the room brighter, would it help in any way to search for him?
No, it would not.
Okay.
I know.
I'm gonna use produce flames to burn one of the sleeping bags.
Ooh.
All right.
Keep in mind, this is our friend's bag. This is our friend's boat, so we don't want to torch it.
All right. You shoot at one of the sleeping bags at random. Go ahead and roll to attack with disadvantage.
Ooh, these rolls tonight. It's 11.
11. You shoot produce flame into a sleeping bag, and you don't hear anything. other than the flame hitting the bag.
Okay, and then I'll use the bonus action to search. We'll just try.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll a perception check. Or an investigation. It's your choice.
They both bad. Okay, 10.
It's okay.
10. You start looking around. You don't see anything at all. Sir Brom, it's your turn.
I have precedent.
Brom's
We
gonna
should put out
cheat.
the fires we start, by the way, so we're good.
Oh, good.
We won't
Okay.
burn this down.
That's good because it's our friend's boat. Brom's gonna cheat and use his special ability, Divine Sense, since they're evil.
Okay.
So he's gonna do that.
It's good cheat.
Do you take out like one of those metal detector things and start walking?
I figure one of my friends described it like smelling a demonic fart, and I was like, that is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. So it's kind of like they said it's like a noxious scent. So they're like, yeah, it's like smelling a nasty fart. And I'm just like, oh, I hate that. So
I hate that too.
yeah, so he's gonna do that. He's gonna be like, oh, Storm, help me find this evil creature. He starts like creepily praying to himself, and you know, it just looks really weird. And he's gonna try that first before he manually searches.
Okay. So, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you.
I think it's just any evil thing. Any celestial fiend.
No, the
Nope,
evil's
sorry.
the flavor text. It's one
Evil's
of
just the
those
flavor
three.
text. It's been redefined for
Sure.
fifth edition.
Damn you, not being
man.
Pathfinder.
Yep, so it's the same with protection from good and evil. Doesn't actually protect from good alignment and evil alignment. It's just a set of things it protects from. So you would know that even... so Brom would know that even if T didn't, so you would not cast
Done
Divine
that.
Sense.
Alright. Then he's gonna do something. Oh, well, he's gonna do a couple of different things. Do. He's going to. He's going to cast Shield of Faith
Okay,
on Neo.
okay.
So he gets a +2 to AC. See if I can get this. So there you go.
All right.
And then he's going to try and look for this little bugger.
All right, go ahead and roll perception or investigation, your choice.
Which one is better? None of them, I think. Let's see. Investigation, nope. And perception. Perception's better. I'm gonna roll perception.
Go ahead.
Ah, 10. No.
You look around to see if you can get a look at it, and you don't see anything at all.
All right.
Mirth, you hear a very small voice at your ankles.
Zardarok is gonna tear you to pieces and shit down your throat!
I grab it in my mouth. I bite it.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. A 14 to hit.
It's gonna get me first. It does hit.
Okay.
What's it doing?
It stabs you with its tiny dagger into your the back of your calf,
Ow.
and you take 1 piercing damage and 11 psychic damage.
Woof.
Gosh, I'm so
Ow.
insulted. I took psychic damage.
And then it points its finger up at Laine again, and Laine, give me an intelligence save.
All right.
Smartest
Oh,
one of us
no.
all.
That little guy can still fight.
I crit
Cackle.
failed.
A crit fail. Okay.
Oh.
So I need you to 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was
Target myself.
1, 2,
But did
3.
it do
I
its
need you
main?
to swing your sword at Brom. So just
Swing
attack
it.
Brom
You
with the
deserved it.
standard.
Oh no.
Cutting
rolled-
words.
It's not gonna help. I rolled a 25.
Why are you like this?
Oh, wait! Good news for Mirth. I just remembered Bane.
Yeah.
Does a 12 still hit you?
No.
Then you don't take that 11 psychic damage and the 1 piercing.
You
Great.
saved yourself.
By the way, I just like to describe what Mirth does as it's very dog-like. So as soon as he hears the little noise and the little poke, instead of acting like a normal person, dignified, he actually like yelps, kind of like when you yank a dog's tail, and he snaps in a way that he tries really strongly not to do as a civilized person. And it's a particularly undignified moment. And he goes, and I think he yelps and is like, "Found him!" Or he found me.
Perfect.
I rolled
And
25 to hit, Rob.
25 hits Brom. Roll
It hit.
damage.
Sorry, the Bromster.
I rolled 8 points of damage to you.
Okay. And then as its bonus action... Oh, wait. I have to see if
I'm
its invisibility
sorry.
recharges. It doesn't.
It's invisible too?
It has that.
Not
It
yet.
was invisible
Oh.
when it started the fight.
Oh.
And then as its bonus action, because that is something it can do, it dives back into the sleeping bags.
No.
Dang it!
Holy cow!
Get it!
All right. Laine, it's your turn.
I suppose we didn't see which sleeping bag it went into.
Rolling a 18 with its stealth and a bonus that it has to it. Oh, and then Bane reduces that.
Yeah.
All right, I have the stealth number. And it's not as simple as that 16.
Right.
Laine, your turn.
So I get to roll perception to look for it? Or
Yes.
investigation?
As a bonus action, you can do perception or investigation to look for it.
Okay. 17.
17, you start digging around and you don't see it anywhere. Anything else?
Beans. Yeah, you said that there was a table and you said that there are sleeping bags, so I am going to pick up one of the sleeping bags and shake it out and then put it on the table so that I know that one's cleared. I want to give him less terrain to hide in.
Okay. You grab a sleeping bag, you shake it out, and toss it on the table. Mirth, your turn.
Mirth is on his hands and knees going, get it! And he's like smacking his hands, trying to
The
figure out
sleeping
where
bags
it is.
off the floor.
Get it! I'm gonna roll perception, see if I get lucky.
Go ahead.
And he's like feral cat after laser mode right now. All right, let's see. Let's roll some dice. Oh, I got a super splendid 16. And
Nice.
Not enough. You start looking around, you don't see it anywhere. Anything else?
What? Let me see if there's anything useful I can do. I don't think so.
Get the sleeping bags off the floor.
Okay,
Shake 'em
I'll
out.
yank up I'll grab
I'm
up
like-
a sleeping bag
I'm
and
just
start
yelling,
trying
like,
to
"Get-
flap it out.
Get the stuff
Sounds
off
good.
the floor. Don't let him
You know what I
hide.
think it looks like? I think it looks like he dives into the sleeping bag hole and starts rooting around inside of it.
Perfect.
Looking, but not finding.
Neo, you're up.
Yeah, Neil's irritated, so I'm gonna grab whatever last sleeping bag, except for the other one that I started burning, and burn another one. to
Okay.
Produce flames.
Go ahead. Hey, welcome Raiders.
Oh, hi, Raiders.
Oh.
Right now we are chasing a 2-inch tall duergar through sleeping bags on a frozen
These are my
ferry.
friends.
Hello.
19.
Aww.
A 19. A 19
looking
is
for
not
teeny,
enough.
tiny
You are
duergar.
digging around in these sleeping bags trying to find this duergar and you don't find it.
Wait, that was to burn it.
Oh, to burn it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You shoot a sleeping bag.
No scream.
There's no screams from the sleeping bag.
Okay. And then I'm going to search in the one that
All right.
that Mirth is holding.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception or investigation, your choice.
I'm actually going
If
to
you
cry.
lit it on fire.
I'm going to cry. 13.
13. You don't find anything at all, Sir Brom. Everyone is scrambling around trying to find this 2-inch tall duergar.
This is terrible.
Brom,
so stupid.
We
Brom is
are
now-
adults.
Brom is now bloodied. Actually, he's.
Oh, dang.
How is Brom bloodied when we're
Because
fighting
I
a
got him.
2-inch tall?
Because
I got mind
because,
controlled.
Yeah, he stabbed him good, and then
attacking
also the Duergar
Oh,
the Duergar
God.
stabbed him really good earlier. So the Duergar like took away half his hit points by stabbing
This
him.
is how we're going down. We can't do this. This is
TPK.
ridiculous.
Yes,
We
TPK by
escaped
a
an
2-inch
ancient
Duergar.
dragon, and now
Yeah.
we're just getting. This is really undignified.
Yes. So
Look, we're in an
Brom-
enclosed space. No one is here to see it. It's fine.
So Brom's going to look for the Duergar with a 19, and he's going to lay on hands himself
Okay.
and restore 20 of his own hit points. Because he does not. Go ahead.
Because of an amazing roll by the Duergar, a 19 is not enough to find it.
But
No.
okay.
Y-
So he lays. Go ahead.
You lay hands on yourself. Go ahead and heal yourself as much as you'd like.
I do the thing. And then he's going to pick up the last sleeping bag and put it up on the table after shaking it out.
Give it
Okay.
a big shake.
Sounds good. So all the sleeping bags are up. There's just some of the various stolen rations and other odds and ends on the floor. It is its turn.
Here we go again.
The little Duergar
I
scatters,
hate him.
jumps out from behind the crate full of stolen rations. You see it skittering across the floor as it goes running straight toward Brom. It leads with its dagger, and because it was technically still hidden, it has advantage. So that is a 17 minus Bane. So that is a 14 to hit.
Does not hit him.
So it jumps onto onto Brom's greaves, and it just starts tinging its little dagger off of your greaves. It is
It's going, I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you!
and then it points over at Neo. Neo, give me an intelligence save.
This is the special effects we deserve.
Yes. No, you better not.
What? Do I need to cutting words? What
4.
happened?
A 4, you fail the intelligence save. So I'm gonna roll and see who you hit. That's the one that doesn't count. Oh, that's the wrong dice. Roll the 4 again. 2, that is Mirth. I need you to make an attack as you suddenly feel that Mirth is a threat, and you punch Mirth right at the end of Mirth's Dragonborn nose.
I so wish I was taking these, y'all.
Not the money maker.
Oh, wait. 13.
A 13 doesn't hit.
Oh, yay!
All right.
Yay! I think Mirth screeches and actually does say, "Not the moneymaker!" when you do that.
Just goes, whoa!
Woo, that
And
was close.
while all of you are distracted by that, the Duergar attempts to hide again and does not hide as well this time as before. Without the sleeping bags to dive into, apparently it's running out of places to hide. But it
My
does
plan worked.
go out of sight because that is going to be higher than all of your passives with the bonus that they get. Oh crap,
but-
Bane. Just a
but
second.
Bane.
Uh, Does anyone have a passive higher than 12?
Maybe Brom?
No, I have a passive of 11.
12, or 11, I'm sorry.
Okay, I
I
didn't.
have a 12.
You have a 12. Mirth, you see where it goes. It hides from everyone but you.
I squawk and skitter over to it, just like that cat gif that the chat can't see that I put. He just like
really good.
scatters all over the ground, the clattering of his claws, and he's like, "I got it! I got it! I got it! I got it!"
Please send
Puts
that
his hands.
Send it in the TPK Discord, then they can go see it there.
Okay.
Lane, it's your turn. You do not see it. So
yeah,
just Mirth point. As far as you can tell, Mirth is pointing at an empty spot over by one of the walls.
I'm gonna go
I want to
investigate
jump on
that
it and
spot.
put my hands.
That's
I want to go investigate that spot.
okay. Go ahead and roll.
Oh yeah, I rolled a 21.
You can see it.
Nice.
I will
Do the laser.
Close. I am gonna unhook my shield, flip it upside down, and slam it down on top, and just capture.
And then we need to put a piece of
You're gonna
paper
try and
under
capture it?
Yeah, we're just covering it. Like, you know that scene in Avengers where Captain America puts his shield on over the grenade so that it like blows up in there? I'm doing that to the duergar and trap.
Go ahead and roll to hit,
Cool.
just like you would with an attack, and we will treat that as your grapple.
18.
18? You slam your shield, and you are positive that it is underneath your shield.
Perfect.
Anything else?
I'm gonna like look up at the rest of the group and be like, get ready, and then kind of just be like, okay, we're gonna circle up and curb stomp this thing.
Okay.
Oh,
Mirth.
wait, I want to insult it first.
Yeah,
Go
by
ahead.
all means. By all means. I can hold this for a bit. Let's just get ready. And then-
Yeah. Mirth puts his nose low on the ground and he says, "You're not safe forever, you hateful little prince. Zardarok's time is limited."
Oh, that's it?
Causes
Do I
me
need to
can't-
roll? Do you
That's
need
about
to roll?
it. No,
No,
he's
just
not
a- just a
insulting
play.
him. Mirth just looks smug and then looks up
we-
at Laine like he said something cool in his
Okay. Neo, are you gonna do anything?
Anything.
Already a
Yeah,
grapple
okay,
action
cool.
around the shield.
Perfect.
Okay. Sir Brom?
What can Brom do now that there's an impling under the shield?
Ready in action to
You
attack.
can ready
it,
in action
please.
to attack it when the shield's lifted, I suppose.
All right, let me see what.
We are all circling up to murder this 2-inch tall duergar.
Lane has the shield pushed down and everyone's kind of just positioning in order to stomp it. Mirth's down on the ground.
Brom is gonna hold up his hands and he's gonna ready in action to non-lethally strike it, and he reminds them that they need this guy to be alive but unconscious.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. It's
Please do
the
not kill him.
Mm-hmm.
it's the Duergar's turn, so a couple things have to happen.
Oh no. Am I gonna get like rocketed
that.
out as he grows? Because like I'm picturing that I am putting my not considerable body weight on top of this shield, and I'm worried I'm going to get like turtle flung, which would be really funny.
Let me look at their stats real quick. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. So they are going to turn off their reduced size in order to grow. So they kind of start off with the
I'm gonna kill you all, don't you?
wait until I get up here and destroy you. So it's going to do an athletics check to try and a acrobatics check to try and escape.
Oh no.
So I need you to do either athletics or acrobatics to hold on to it as it tries to pop out from underneath the shield at full size.
We lost the D20. No. Oh,
A little bit of our sanity.
okay. Phew. That was stressful. It's an 8.
An 8. They rolled a 16, so even with Bane reducing that,
It probably get
all-
flung into like the far wall.
everybody is circling around this, and all of a sudden the shield just pops out of the ground, and Mirth, you are on the ground looking at a Duergar's boot.
Can I use my acid breath?
We did have
everyone that
actions
held
ready.
something, yes. So you can use your acid breath.
Is that okay? Because that would have
Oh,
been
yeah,
what I
that's
held
fine.
action to do.
Yep.
Aside from my lame insult. Sure. Okay. Let's see if I can breathe from down there. Okay. He needs to make a. What does he need to do here?
I think it's a dex save. Yep.
Yeah.
A 14 minus. Oh wait, I rolled it twice. Oh wait, one was the 14 minus the d4 is a 11.
Shit! It hits. Yes. Okay.
Acid damage.
Let's see. What level am I at? I'm at level 4 now. What does that? I think that might be more damage. All right, let me roll. Those are Oh, so it's at least 12, but I might have more. Just a second. Thanks for your patience.
We want to have the other folks roll attacks while they're
Yeah,
doing
go ahead.
this.
Yeah.
Let's let his go first, because I think he might kill the duergar or incapacitate the duergar.
Okay, well, let's just let it be 12 since I'm not fully prepped. So I'll look that up for later, and we'll just call it a 12 acid damage for fun narrative, keeping movement.
It's
Yeah,
2d6 damage. The damage increases to 3d6 at 6th level, so go ahead and roll 2d6.
At 6th level.
Yeah.
Okay, Mirth. Yeah, I did. So it's 12. I got good rolls. So Mirth opens up his mouth and just vomits a spray of acid all up its
Right
body.
onto this boot.
And also his frills go out like that Jurassic Park thing when he does it, like.
You absolutely give this duergar a faceful, which means you saw its boot. You like turn your head, and this line of acid just shoots straight up the leg, up the stomach, across the chest, into this duergar's face. Just starts trying to wipe it away.
And I'm gonna use my grapple.
Go ahead.
14.
14, and it is almost certainly not going to succeed. It will try and snake out of the way. It's at 17, then minus the d4 is a 16. So no, you try and grab them, but they're just like flailing because they're covered in acid and you can't get a hold of them. And then Brom, you are going to whap them non-lethally, I believe.
Yes. Brom
Go
actually
ahead.
does something specific. He got a 20. He turns the sword around, so that's like all of them are doing their cool dinosaur stuff and grabbing him and like squeezing him and calling him George. Brom turns his sword around and picks up the end and whacks him really hard on the head.
Go ahead and roll normal damage. I'm pretty sure your minimum is going to be enough.
9 plus 4, which is 13 damage.
Yep, that is more than enough. You turn your sword around. This duergar is just flailing, and you pong, and it collapses, stopping yelling in a heap at your feet. You have an unconscious duergar. The fairy grows quiet, and everything seems, at least for the time being, calm.
Mirth is extremely excited, and he's like breathing a little too heavily, and his pupils are dilated. And he's like, "We got it. We got it. We got it."
Laine has been like blasted against the far wall, so he does like the dad grown up, just like gets up.
Neil's
Okay.
going to grab some rope and tie them up.
Yes.
Yep,
That
you
would
tie up the duergar quite easily.
Brom takes this moment to pant, and then he coughs and is not happy to see a little bit of blood. Like, oh.
Oh no,
Thanks.
everybody's really hurt.
I'm fine.
Mirth becomes a biped and wipes his mouth and starts checking on people. Particularly Dad, who smashed into a wall.
I took no damage from that, and I have the armor that heals me, so I
Oh,
should
you
have
have the
been.
troll armor.
I do. I should have been the one to take all those hits. I was trying, and nobody would target me, and I'm so frustrated by that.
Be that way.
Look, I'm trying. I don't have enough strength to take the fighter subclass where I can intervene, be like, hit me instead. I wish I could.
Everyone kind of collects themselves, takes a few deep breaths. Above the table, it's essentially midnight, so we are well past our typical stop time. So what we will do is, as you are recovering, you look down at this duergar as they are tied up and start to come to. They look up at you and they just go, "Shit." And that is where we will end for the evening. Thank you for joining us, chat. That was, I must say, the most hysterical fight
was
that I have
very
had
fun.
in quite a while.
That was
Don't go
amazing.
too far. We're going to spend just a couple minutes. We've already gone late. We're not going to spend as much time as usual addressing any comments, concerns, questions, concerns, conundrums, or qualms from our time together. So if there's anything you want to bring up of things that went well, things that went not so well, things that you wished would have gone differently or better, now is a great time to bring up any of those. And chat, if you have any questions, now's the time for that as well. So that is where we will start. And I wanted to start with a question that I had. We went our entire first hour and a half without rolling a single dice. And I just want to say how much I love all of you as players, because it was so much fun for me. Watching how between Laine and Mirth sitting in a dragon head talking to a dragon, and just how everything played out with getting the information and all of that. I enjoyed that so very much. So I want to start by saying thank you for that. That is so much fun for me. And I hope it was fun for all of you too.
Yeah, I forgot to bring
Yeah.
my dice to my desk, and I didn't realize it till after intermission. Cause like, oh, we didn't use them. We were just going great. Like,
Just vibing.
this was a really good session. Like, we had backstory reveal, we had like personal moments, we had like fun combat, which is not something I say often. So this is just a delight.
Yeah, Dane, you've been killing it with roleplay lately. Like
Killing
your
it.
roleplay has you've been
Also
good,
just-
but you've taken it to the next level. And like the last 3 games, you've just like pumped it up.
And the
Also,
voice
just
changer
the
with it this
fact-
time was just
The
golden.
fact that
Oh,
you
that was so
had
good.
you had the chipmunk voice ready when I teased you
That
about
was
it. You were
fun
like,
too.
and I'm like, I got
That
told.
was fun.
I like that we had to
That
fight
was
the
amazing.
Smurfs this time.
We
I
did.
felt we got our fucking asses kicked by Papa Smurf.
Do you know how happy I was?
was?
So all of you almost wiped the floor with this dude in just a couple hits, and I'm like, oh crap, he's got to run away. He can't. He's not. And then I'm looking through his stats, and it says he can hide as a bonus action instead of like a regular action or anything, and he gets a +5 to stealth. I'm like, okay, this is taking a different turn, and that was a blast.
That was so much fun.
I'm so glad Neo
Wonderful.
just immolated the sleeping bags.
Yes, it was
Neo
beautiful.
was like, we're gonna do it this way. My way. My
If he
way.
would've-
Can you
if they
imagine
would've
how it would've
burned in there.
smelled?
Oh god.
God, the tiny scream. Ugh.
Oh no.
God, we'd
God.
feel like monsters.
Also, blessed be the Dane who like played the sexy Goliath. Like I like that you fished around for like a sexier
Daddy Jarek.
to kill Brom.
Yes.
Oh my god. Brom was like
Giving the players
super-
what they want, Dane. Thank you.
Look,
Yeah.
Brom
Brom's so
has
cute.
made, his preferences known. And so I feel as a GM, it is
likes
my
bears.
duty in order to push that higher and higher every single
No.
time
Stop it.
Picture's
that,
ready.
that Brom brings it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
T-
you did
you know-
ask.
you know-
Bringing it up
You're
Brom's
doing so
player.
good, Dan.
T's like
We're
just
thirsty
T's just
weirdos.
playing, and all of a sudden T's like, wait, what do they look like?
But I have.
Sorry, I have to. He's dumb. Like whenever there's a man, I got to, especially like a cool man, I gotta ask. Like if it's like the speaker guy on the toilet, then probably not. But if it's some dude who's cool, he's gonna be like looking respectfully, looking chastely.
He looked like
You know.
Kratos. Like from the picture. He had like the massive beard and like
He
the short
did.
cropped hair. And
No,
like he had a
stop.
barrel chest. I was like,
If you look up Goliath, I don't even know what I searched real quickly. I didn't put anything. I just
Goliath, bodybuilder.
like I didn't even put in
which is
anything
kind of
weird.
redundant.
I just put Goliath Warrior. That's what I put in. And you start looking at the images that come up with Goliath Warrior, and I mean it.
I'm Googling it now.
Yep, you just put in Goliath Warrior,
Many
you'll
of
get
us
the
are.
the first one I looked at and opened up was that one in the top center, and I'm like, nope, that won't work. It's like
Yeah, he's not handsome
I need one with a beard, and then I just kind of went down and
Yeah.
found one, and there it was
Yeah,
the
you gotta find the
pose.
hotties.
It was the pose of Joram Frostmarked that that caught my attention.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
looks so good.
that's
Thank
a
you,
pose
Dane.
with a pose with presence right there.
Yeah, presents.
I'm not saying it was anything bad. It was just like I was like, oh my god.
Then stop asking, Brom.
Yeah, Brom's all curious. Wants those
Brom's
details.
wants to know what's up.
I have to act in character. Unfortunately, my character was being more interested in the Lady Goliath, to be honest. But that's not where his preferences lie.
Yep.
So and of course, he's like, I think it'll be hard
in the wastes.
Not
Aren't we
looking
all?
for love, trying to avoid thinking about anything,
Yep.
but instead looking directly into a Goliath's beautiful
Chest.
eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes!
Brom's like, as
God.
I just look directly between his pecs, you know, as you do. That phrase was.
Have you ever? Okay, you must be tall, Dane, because as a short
No, I'm
person,
not.
like, okay, like if you've ever met a tall woman, like I have like looked at her and like accidentally, and then she sees it and she's like, and I'm like, sorry, it's the
No,
opposite
that's
of
fine.
feeling
Yeah.
of looking
I-
respectfully.
Struggle is real. Because then you
I
feel like
have-
a baby looking up. You gotta like keep your distance, but that's not fun either. So there's nothing you can do.
Keep your distance, but don't look like you're keeping your distance.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, stare
the whole
casually.
thing.
Stare casually. Any
Stare
other,
casually.
Late night tips.
any other thoughts before we?
I mean, to be fair, I've done that too. There was a beautiful woman in Starbucks, and like I kept like thinking in my head, like, you know, like a little spinner of like things to say. It's like you have nice hair, nice eyes. Your dress is nice.
You're
I like
nice.
Your nails. Yes, it just like continues spinning as I'm like staring stupidly.
You watch as she leaves.
What?
There's always the say nothing option.
There's always the say nothing option.
Say nothing, stare
Let the
weirdly.
timer run out.
Yeah. There's that question of, okay, can I say something nice without sounding creepy in this situation?
Yes, if you compliment something like her dress or her hair. But,
Yep.
You know, sometimes
Something that
they're
she
just-
has control over what
That's
it looks
that's
like.
what I wanted.
That's the
That's
tip.
what I wanted to. There was the late night tip. I was gonna make sure made it through.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But in my case, I couldn't say anything because she was just too beautiful. So instead, I just stared dumbly until she left with her coffee.
Oh.
You know, everyone puts a little bit of themselves in their characters, and you know now Brom makes a whole lot more sense.
I'm actually way better at approaching people most of the time. Brom's just got a 0 out of 10 in everything, pretty much.
Not everything.
Lobster.
You did all right. You gathered some
I'm
information
sorry.
today.
There we go.
I apologize. It is so hot here.
Oh, no.
I need
Yeah.
to-
I
Nope.
need to go
get
We're
die.
we're pulling the plug.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
thank you for
Okay.
joining us. We had a blast. We will be back in 2 weeks. There's only a handful of sessions left.
No.
And we will see you all then until we meet again. As always, be good. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Oh, befriending the griffins, a quest they have been given. They flew north to prove their worth in a sporting tradition. Oh, the ball flew back and forth. Competition gave them warmth. In the last round, victors were found. Now they're champions henceforth. Oh.